All right. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
We're live. This is Arm Wrestling Showcase number 24. Almost like we're veterans up in this thing. We've got some very special guests this evening. The first person I want to introduce is Evan Robison.
How's it going?
All right. So Evan Robison, he's pretty new to the sport. He's been smashing the amateurs. I saw his performance at the Kraken in San Diego and just dominated everybody in the 185s, right?
Yes, 185s.
Yeah. And it was just a bit too convincing. And we talked and you were definitely convinced it's time to make the jump up to the open class, learn, see what happens. And, most of us, when we take that step, at best, we end up somewhere in the middle of the pack or, trying to climb our way up from the very bottom. But you, at the High Desert Arm Fights, Brandon Allen's tournament, you came in and you got on the podium. Both arms, was it?
Yes, both arms.
Third place, first showing in the open class in the 185 category. And I can attest at that tournament, because I did pull the 185s as well, and that was probably one of the more stacked classes. It at least had some pretty tough dudes in there, not to mention Ricky Ramos.
Wow, congrats, Evan. Good job, dude.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
That's what's up.
Very impressive. So we're definitely going to want to dig into you and your background a little bit. We've also got the man in here, Caleb Armbender.
What up?
Yeah. One of the guys making the most noise out there in arm wrestling, climbing the ranks very, very fast and putting in the work 100%. How's it going, Caleb?
Feeling good. Just gearing up for, a match. I'm feeling good. Feeling really strong, heavier than normal. Feeling good.
Yes, sir. And Caleb has 2 matches coming up here. The one coming up the soonest would be, that one is versus
his name's Kevin Lash. I think
Lashley. Right.
Yeah.
Lashley. Yeah.
And he's been in the sport for a little while now, hasn't he? He's a vet, right?
Yeah, he's OG, yeah. I've never pulled him, so there's that unknown factor. But I've pulled people who he's pulled, so it should be interesting.
Right on. Yeah, it's definitely the old school versus the new school.
Oh yeah.
And one other match. Well, and we'll get into all this in a little bit here, but the other match you have, I'm really excited for. I can't wait to see is you versus Jamie Barrett from Australia. And Jamie is he number 1 out there in his weight class?
I'm pretty sure he's the number 1 guy at 165 or 155. I don't know exactly, but I know he's the number 1 lightweight out there.
Yes, he trains with Ryan Bowen. He does train with Lachlan Adair often. And it was, I think, the beginning of this year. He kind of did a little tour here in the States. He hit several tournaments, did really well. He had a super match with Alan Fisher. He did Mr. Olympia, where I got to pull him. And having history with you, Caleb, and having pulled him and getting to know the guy and everything like that, I know for a fact that match is going to be fire. It'll be a really, really good match.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We've also got the Grizzly in the house, taking up all of the Zoom here. What's up, Grizzly?
Oh yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Thanks for coming on and taking the time. I recently watched in the entirety your slap fight match.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's an intense one.
It was.
Jeez.
Like, I remember I'd seen, I think, clips before when you first had the fight.
Yeah,
And
the
also
highlight.
knew the outcome of it. But this was my first chance to actually see the whole video with the action all the way through. Bro, that first hit, your first hit that you gave him, holy crap, dude. I would not want to be that guy. Like,
No.
you
I
dropped.
wanted him to stay down so bad.
Yeah.
When he got up, I was a little worried.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
He's either done or just severely pissed off.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he actually kind of his bell stopped ringing enough to continue, because I mean he did pretty good from there, but it seemed like it took like a few rounds for him to like maybe make more of an impact. I can't tell, like, from your perspective, was he just whittling down a little bit? Because those first few rounds,
Well, getting
rocked
rocked like that'll take a lot of power out of you, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep slapping after your head's been rung. I mean, if you ever saw my first match, you would notice I wasn't doing too well after that first hit. So I think it sapped a lot out of him.
Oh man. I also didn't know that there's so many rounds in one of those.
10 rounds, and because of my fouls, I had to take 2 in a row, I think twice.
Damn.
Yeah, it was rough.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Dude.
I thought it was like a 3-round thing or something, and the bits of, like, other matches I've seen, they usually seem to end in a knockout or whatever, and just a few 2-3 rounds or something. But you guys, that was like some Rocky shit. Like, you kept going and going, and I was like, holy crap, this would suck.
Yeah, it felt like it lasted forever.
And you're fitting to go back and do this some more, huh?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I haven't been offered anything yet, but I'm waiting.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That was a trip getting to watch that. And we've got some people in the chat. We're going to say hello in a second here. First, I want to welcome our other guests. We have Ricky Garay joining us.
Oh yeah, Rick.
Yes. So Rick has a match with Casey, correct?
Oh, yes, I sure do.
I forgot about that.
Coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, this weekend. Yeah, up there in Fresno at Josh's house. So, yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
So can we make this podcast like super weird with psychological warfare, or is like, do you guys have like so much history pulling together? You're pretty much like used to being in the same room.
I mean, Casey's a good dude, but at the end of the day, we're on the table. It's just, we got to do what we have to do. There's like no buddies on the table. So, he's always been a good guy. I'm always also a good guy. So, yeah, but once you step on that platform, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Different story. 100%.
I wouldn't have it any other way either.
Yeah, exactly.
Rick was the first pro I ever pulled in my division, and he absolutely destroyed me and humbled me. And that's why I'm hoping, it's been almost 2 years now since we pulled that first time.
Yeah, 2 years.
So if I can do anything, because he felt like an absolute wall, if I can do anything with him this weekend, I'm going to be happy. But I'm coming to win.
Well,
either way.
I hope so. Yeah, definitely. Like I told you before, and if you do, you do win, I'm going to be super, super happy for you. But at the same time, I'm going to be a little pissed. But, it goes both ways, But,
Sure.
yeah, it is what it is. And I think after Casey's match, my Sunday, Saturday, I'll be 275 pounds. After that, I think I'm going to take a dip down to the heavyweights. I'm tired of pulling diesel trucks. Like my elbows take forever to heal nowadays. I'm like, no. So after old Grizzly, I'm gonna make a point to be down to heavyweights. So
Okay.
that's the plan.
Oh, that could be very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to see your venture in the heavyweights.
That'd be cool.
See how
Yeah.
that goes down. Yeah, I can imagine what your elbows are like because you know that's your style, man. You get in there, you
Yeah.
get in there and you grind. And yeah, there's a lot of things about you and Casey's styles that that I think is going to make this a pretty cool match. I'm looking forward to it. So and that'll be this Saturday, right? At this
Saturday.
mega practice happening.
This
Yeah.
Saturday.
Is this going to be a rankings match with certified refs and all that, or are we just doing this for the fun of it?
I
What is
I
your-
think it's just for the fun, but I don't really care if it counts for anything. It's more for myself. So I know it
Yeah.
sounds selfish, but I mean, it is what it is. And for Rick, it's I've wanted this since he pinned me 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Little retribution.
Anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't care about rank.
and definitely I think that the more two competitors respect each other, or maybe even are friends, the more intense or serious they are about having a match together. Because to me, it's a sign of respect, you know.
Yeah.
You respect that person enough to show up and fight. Yeah, like I'd consider Evan and Caleb both friends, always love chatting and hanging out with them. But you know, when we get on the table, it's time for business,
It's
you know.
war.
And
Right.
it doesn't matter whatever small things you need to do to end that match quickly or whatever, you know, you're gonna do it.
Well, let's not fail to mention that pin that Casey got on Brandon Allen. That was some sick shit. Because we're on vacation up there at Bass Lake, and I just happened to see the feed, you know, and I'm like, oh, there goes his hand, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh dang, got me a little excited out there.
It was a
thank you.
shocker for everybody, right, Evan?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Everybody was very much, they were like, whoa, like out of the water type
Yeah.
of stuff.
Because
Yes,
oh,
Go ahead.
even Brandon was like, he even acknowledged, oh, all right, he's strong, and I'm like, yep, that was pretty good though. It was good.
Instantaneously, once he hit into him and, you know, Brandon felt that hit, it was just
Mhm.
from there, it was complete understanding of like what he's dealing with in that moment.
Yeah.
That round one.
Yeah.
Round one, figuring things out. What I think was a lot of very surprising for most of us in the audience, but you know, the competitors who know Brandon and who know Casey, even when Casey got Brandon to his side of the table, I think the majority of us were thinking the same thing. This is Brandon's spot, you know. Brandon likes to be here.
Right.
His
Right.
huge sticking
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
And just waiting for Brandon to kind of reel him in. But it didn't happen, and it almost looked like Brandon was expecting it to happen too. But you had that last surge, Casey, you know.
Yeah.
And you just drove him out of his shoulder a little bit.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Perfect
I had to
timing.
climb
That was
back on
good.
top of my arm, but it was pretty. I can't describe the adrenaline that went through me after it happened.
Well, that yell afterwards kind of told us all. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I was pretty hyped up.
Yep. Yeah, that fired everyone up.
Yeah.
I bet that round just made all of it worthwhile because that dude is no joke at all. He's a pretty amazing athlete just in general.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah. And what'd you guys think of that tournament, man? It was like all those spectators for the carnival and stuff.
I think that's the biggest audience I've seen at an arm wrestling event. It was huge. The crowd around us was massive.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
atmosphere in general was just amazing. Just with everybody having like a general understanding of what's going on, but like the enthusiasm of the crowd was just unbeatable. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely something special when most of us are used to basically watching each other arm wrestle. You know, you feel like you're in your little club somewhere, like, and all the competitors are watching the competitors pull and trying to be supportive and stuff. But yeah, this event definitely stood alone because it wasn't just a lot of non-arm wrestler spectators that wanted to check it out. What really surprised me was, this is a carnival. There was games, there was all kinds of stuff going on, food, all kinds of things that you could do. But it seemed to me like the majority of that carnival all came to that arm wrestling event to see what was going on, and they just got stuck there. It was just a nice big ring around.
Eyes were glued on those tables.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of little kids too. That was awesome. A lot of little kids high-fiving competitors and wanting to. I had a few ask me to after pull their dads. Hey, can you pull my dad? Can you pull my sister? Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was weird. It felt like a real respected sport, when you see that by, in terms of spectatorship and stuff. I really like that. Okay, well, we've got Todd Calzo in the chat saying, "What's up, guys?" Elijah says, "What's up?" as well. They're both working out right now. So
Nice.
Getting that grind on.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I'm slacking. Hold on, let me pick up this table.
There you go.
Nice.
Right there. Okay.
Funny, you're like lifting it with your fingertips, making it look like it's like one of those paper crackers.
Basically just wrapping it.
And Elijah is just making huge leaps and bounds. We had a really good practice this last Sunday in Lake Gregory up in my neck of the woods. And he came up, Elijah came up with this family, Todd and his mother, and I was at his sister, I want to say, but pizza and all that. It was a good time. But yeah, Elijah is just beastly. He's doing so good. His hit's great. Todd says, most
His
entertaining.
gym lifts are crazy for how small he is.
Yeah.
Elijah, have I seen him? Elijah, okay.
Well, do you follow Todd on Facebook? Todd Calzo?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, check him out. His son is very, very talented. And Todd's a great coach. He's facilitating everything for Elijah. They got a great home gym set up, training table, cables. He does all the traditional lifts too.
Watching him bench and do those compound lifts is actually really impressive.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I like watching the progression. He's hitting PRs almost every week, it seems like. But he's just a really good model, I think, for anybody of any age to making progress in this sport. Because even though he's taking it slow, maybe partly because there's not a lot of competitors in his age category right now locally, but he's taking all the steps the right way, and all the coverage that Todd gives, like in the videos and stuff, and then our practices, you just see the progress. It's amazing. We've also got Don Mormon in the house, the man, the myth, and legend.
Don.
So, Todd was also saying the most entertaining arm wrestlers right now, he thinks, is number 1, Devin, number 2, Travis, number 3, Caleb Armbender.
Nice.
I wouldn't argue with that. I think that's a good assessment, Todd. That's really good.
Every time I see Caleb approach the table, all I think of in my head, I'm like, he's gonna say, "Come on."
Yeah. In terms of the stuff he says and does, you're like a volcano. I don't even think what you're gonna say or do after the matches. It's almost like Tourette's. It's just like things like come out. We can't wait to hear what it is.
He'll say your name at least once.
What's that?
Said he'll say your name at least one time while he pulls you.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Nah, man, it's some people, it's like, it's a bittersweet, I guess I would call it, like, I like having fun, like people make, like posts and stuff about like that type of like energy and stuff. And, like, I'm all for like being excited, like it kind of brings me to that match, with Vitaly and Rivas, when Vitaly like kind of like celebrated, and Rivas like jerked his arm and stuff like that. Like people don't really like that like celebration store speak, but like if I'm not like yelling in your faces, if I'm just like screaming, I'm you know what I mean? Every once in a while I'll be a little bit, but like I think
It's not personal.
I think you should be like happy.
Yeah.
And you should also feel good that I'm excited for beating you. Like I hold you in a high regard that I'm excited for beating you. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
you also never do it in a disrespectful way either. You're always tasteful about your expressiveness.
Right. But also think of it like this though. Like if I'm just like this, like just like all stonewall, like all slow, then I'm like trying to act. You know what I mean? That means I'm trying to act all cool, like because I don't think you're strong. So, like if I'm like, you know what I mean? Like then like I don't know.
That makes sense.
That's my take on that a little bit of celebrations during a match or after a match or whatever.
That makes a lot of sense. There really is nothing worse than somebody just slowly with a smile on their face.
Yeah, it's like damn, bro, like you gotta school me like that.
Yeah. They're almost like, trying to be nice, like I'm not even gonna hit, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna lay you down. But it hurts so much more in ways.
We've all been on the receiving and like we did it and we've had it done to us, so
100%.
Yeah.
We got Benny Ringer in the house saying what's up? What's up,
Good
Benny?
old Ringer.
Yes, sir. We've got, and I heard Benny is just a beast right now. I heard he's making some serious leaps right now. Yeah, I mean, last time I pulled him, he seemed strong already. So whatever that means, yeah, looking forward to seeing your performance, Benny.
Thank you.
We got Johnny Dang in the house, my teammate.
Johnny Dang.
Dang.
What up, Johnny?
Holding it down as a moderator. Johnny says, one day I'll beat the guy who beat me at my first competition. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, referring to Casey and Rick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's some personal stuff right there for sure.
You always remember the first people that pin you when you go to competitions.
No. Always.
I feel honored that I'm your first, so thank you.
Yeah, it's like in one sense it'll always stand out, it'll always be there, and you'll always want that rematch at some point. But I think until that moment happens, the healthiest mindset can be to be pulling as many people as possible. Don't get too hung up on that one, because it takes a lot of losses to a lot of different people, I feel like sometimes.
I mean, you could say I'm hung up on mine, seeing I'm going against Rick. He's my first one.
No, you're always going to be hung up on it. That's not my.
I couldn't let it go.
Point, yeah, it's always going to have importance. So
yeah,
it's going to be a special match. We've got Johnny saying he wants to pull Rick at 275.
At 275.
That's now, are we being serious, Johnny?
Johnny.
No, and I'm taking you seriously. Johnny's definitely making some strides, but we're also talking about, this is Rick here.
Right.
But if you are being serious, Johnny, I highly respect the ambition for that. No matter what would happen with that, gunning for people like that will certainly level you up.
I'm trying to think what does he look like? Because I'm not really up to par. I don't really, except for you guys, like faces, and good jazz like that. Johnny Dang. I'm gonna have to look him up later.
He has glasses, a bigger dude from Alpha.
Yeah, not like
Oh.
spectacles. He wears shades, I think, right?
Probably seen him
Yeah, he
at.
does. Yeah. Anaheim?
Were you at Anaheim? I think he was at Anaheim when I pulled Will, wasn't he? Or were you there, Rick? Or you've probably seen him in one of a Southern. He's a SoCal guy.
Was he in Orange County? Orange County at the beer the super match right here.
He
Yeah.
was at
Yeah, he
Brew
was
House.
in
wasn't
yeah, he
Northwest
probably,
South.
Oh, then yeah, that'd be great. Let's do it.
yeah, he probably was.
Awesome.
He's a little newer though. But I mean,
Oh, okay.
right-handed would be something. Maybe right-handed. I love Johnny. Johnny is hella funny. I love Johnny.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's so
I'm
fun to
just
have
throwing it
around.
out there 'cause Rick's an old dog.
Yeah, I'm
Rick-
pretty
Rick-
old.
No, I'm saying like in the sport. You've been in it.
Oh, yeah, I feel it every time I wake up. I'm getting older. So yeah, I get it.
Said I'm getting older too, bro. I'm looking at the sport, and every time I look, there's like a 16-year-old or a
Yeah.
17-year-old that's just like blasting everybody, just destroying everybody. And I'm like, wow, like I'm not even the youngest guy anymore. Like
Are you 30 yet, Caleb?
30?
Hell no.
And what the fuck are you talking about old then?
I know, man.
No.
No way, man.
Oh,
How many years have you been allowed to drink?
that's a
Well,
good.
not
Two.
legally, two.
Two.
Oh, okay. My God. Good Lord.
Crazy.
Nice.
2
Hey.
years, bro. I just turned 23 August 11th. Just turned.
Oh, that's a good age, man. It really
Yeah,
started
stay
when I was
that age forever.
I started when I was
Yeah.
19. So it's like 19 is not even that. Like I started when I was 19, but it feels like that's not even young anymore. You know, like I literally like Jamie's 17 years old, bro.
Mhm.
Can you believe that? And he's he's internationally recognized.
Wow.
He's literally just a freak, you know. And it's hard to you just look at it, you know. You just look at it like, why? I know I'm still young, but it's just like, wow, like okay. That's just a little extra bit that I need to fucking work my ass off. Get my bad cussing and shit.
All right.
Wow, it's gonna be a shame when you beat him.
It opens your
Yeah.
mind. You're no longer that like, oh, like I have all the time. You know what I mean? You're feeling like cocky. You're like, man, I'm the young guy. And then you see that. Like there's a guy at my practice, he's only like 19. Little Chris, Casey, little Chris. Casey knows what I'm talking about. And he's monster. Him and Michael Brown had some matches at LA Fit. He's kind of like a 176 guy, but he cuts sometimes. But dude, he's like 19, like maybe 20, maybe, and he's just bulldozer,
Crazy.
strong. And I'm just
Okay.
every time I turn around, it's just every fucking time.
You just slowly creep up.
I'm just like,
man.
next thing you know, it's gonna be like 25, 26. And it's gonna be like, then I'm gonna be arm wrestling the 19 and 18-year-olds, and I'm just gonna be like, wow, just like, all right.
Welcome to our world, Caleb.
Yes.
Start
Michael-
looking at the young bucks on your heels and possibly getting you off your heels.
Hey, Michael Brown. What weight? He's 165, right?
He cuts 165. He walks around at like 176.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something about that guy. I like him.
Yeah, he's
I like that dude, man.
Michael Brown.
He gets intense, but he's a good dude. You know what I mean?
Yes, he's smart too. Really smart.
Yeah.
That's one passionate puller right there.
Yeah, very
Very passionate. Oh yeah. Jeez Louise.
But I like Mike. He's gave me and Kane some fuss in competition. He's a really strong guy, and
Yeah.
the best genetics you could ever ask for arm wrestling. Like seriously.
Leverage height.
Put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", dude. It's really
Like
really
4% body fat. Yeah, it's crazy.
He puts a lot of deep thought into like all of the technique of arm wrestling. It's interesting hearing some of his thought processes on things as he's kind of like working stuff out. I think a lot of us, we take what we learned from veterans and stuff like that, you know, we put it on that shelf and we you know, work on all those things. And I feel like he does, but he definitely goes like deeper, you know, he turns all of it into like a mathematical equation and theory and stuff like that. And really like experiments and explores. I think that's super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where like he's not on our team, so he's not always training with us. But when we are at a practice or something like that, it's table time that I really value with him, because I know it's usually it hurts. He's
Yeah, he's the guy you go hard with if you're trying to
Right.
fucking if you're trying to rip it. Yeah, Mike's the guy you rip it with.
Yeah.
He just came to NorCal. I had to, like, you guys do rarely come through, and that was fun, dude. It just felt so good to be able to pull, because like whenever I go to SoCal, I feel like I'm only there for a tournament. Like very rarely am I there for a practice, and I'm able to just just chill and like pull.
Yeah,
He ended up pulling a super match and stuff, but we still got to pull and stuff. It was great.
Yeah. Yep.
A month ago, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, let me check in on the chat here. Johnny also said lucky Casey didn't slap him. Who are you talking about? Rick in their first match? I don't think Casey was training for that at that point, but
I don't think
it still would suck. But
I don't think Johnny or Rick could reach my face.
Hey, there's no argument. And honestly, I don't ever want to get slapped like that because I'm too old for that shit. Seriously.
Oh,
No, I don't need to get slapped like that.
yeah.
Dude,
Get to an age,
can't-
it's
I
time
can't
to
get-
avoid them fights.
I'll be like, Casey, lean over.
And we got Paul Stevens saying, "What's up, guys?" And Casey definitely stronger than me. He says, "Great job, buddy."
I don't know about that.
Match with Brandon Allen. Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah, Paul Stevens has had a little back and forth with Brandon. So yeah, a lot of respect coming there from Paul to you,
Yeah.
Casey. Paul's the man. Johnny says, "Of course I'm not. It's Rick. I'm not there yet." Oh, he's not serious about having a match with you. So he's being sarcastic. The thing I'm excited about for Johnny Dang is how there's that moment for new arm wrestlers. It's usually somewhere between the 2-year and the 4-year mark. Maybe some of the amateur pains are gone. I don't know what it is, but they kind of make a big jump in terms of their level, their strength, accessing strength with better technique and stuff like that. And he's there, definitely. He's made his jump. So I'm excited for you, Johnny. This is where it gets really fun, I think. And I want to see some good things from you in competition. Let's see. Oh, we got Jamie in the house. Natfit in the house saying, "Kane teaching everyone how to make epic mountain campfires."
It
Yeah.
is.
I had to like shimmy forward a little bit because my back is getting cooked right now.
Good. The
Yeah.
vampire Kane.
You know what's funny about Jamie Sheldon? For my first, it was at Hooters, the first tournament, like 2016, and brand new, right? And I go in there, and I feel like a dork now, but I was like, "Hey, I seen you on TV," all excited and shit like that. And he's all, "Yeah." He's kind of like, "Yeah, go sign up over there," kind of thing. I'm like, "All right, cool." Yeah.
Wait, what year was this?
2016.
16. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Wow,
Yeah.
got big time way back then, huh?
WAL years, right?
Yeah, he was ruling the roost at a lighter weight at that time, wasn't he, Rick?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude. Still is, but yeah.
Yeah. He was probably, he was younger and knew he was domainating out there.
Back when he was my weight.
Yeah, he's like a 154, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now seems to be quite the humble guy. Very, very nice. Let's see. Oh, he says, "No, I was probably tired from cutting weight," he says.
Oh, okay. So I didn't take any bad way. I was just like, no, I was happy to see the dude. You know, I've seen him seen him pull before, and it's one of those things. I guess he had a bunch of things on his mind. Now he's cutting weight, so it makes sense now. But I was like, all right, cool. I'll go sign up now. You know.
Oh
I'll take my
man.
leave.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't imagine cutting weight. That sounds horrible. It does.
You-
Like
Oh,
You
come
don't
all
you never
hungry.
cut?
Not really. No.
I remember
No.
cutting for a competition in Vegas. I cut 7 pounds in a day. And then I got told that there wasn't the weight class that I cut down to. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I cut these pounds for no reason.
Oh, that
And then
sucked. Oh,
I put the weight back on just to go weigh in. And they were like, yeah, but we have this class. And I was like, so I could have just stayed at the weight that I cut and I would have made the class below.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
honestly, cutting weight sucks. I believe I dropped down from 308 down to 227 for one
What?
tournament.
What
Yeah.
the heck?
For 220. It's footage of it. It's pretty
That's
cool.
a whole
But
human.
yeah,
That is,
and
yeah.
it sucks so bad, but it took like 4.5 months to do that. And it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
I gained it all back. So
Yeah.
God.
I only cut for like national events. Like I'm not gonna cut for something local. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I'll pull 165, 185, whatever, 176. But like if it's a national like rankings match where something can be affected, you know, nationally, then I'll cut to 155, which I can, like, and still feel strong and comfortable. Like I cut to fit 155 for the Arnolds, but that's only if it's like it matters, you know.
Right.
I'm a little heavier right now, but I'll still cut if I need to. I got a cut for a match in January, potential match that can't talk too much about it, but yeah.
All right. Nice.
For
I'll cut
any of the cuts that you're making, I'm guessing it's within like 10 to 15 pounds. Are we talking like water cuts, dropping carbs? Like what does that look like for you, Caleb?
So for me, the way my body is, everybody's different, right? And I just like I've always had trouble like doing like sweats and like you know what I mean, sweating out water and like doing the saunas and stuff. So if I'm walking around at like say 165, 167, whatever, then all I got to do is cut out like carbs and sugar, because I eat a lot of like carb and shit. Like you see my stories and stuff. I eat a lot of carbs and like sugary stuff. So, but if I cut out, like if I'm just eating a little cleaner, and because I'll drop to 160 easily. I do construction. I'm always sweating. I do a physically demanding job. You know, like I'll be 160, not even trying. You know, and then that last little like what 6 pounds, you know, 5-6 pounds. Okay, now I'll probably sweat, but I won't sweat. Like I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. It doesn't feel good, bro, on the body. Like sweating 10 straight pounds. I don't know. Just for me, everybody's different. I know it doesn't like people like, oh, you could sweat 13 pounds in like 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
but you
just
see
like,
those
bro,
fighters literally go brain dead when they do that.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, bro, like I'm looking it up. I'm like reading videos and they're like, yeah, like if you like close the bathroom, turn on the shower, and like you're like, and you have this feeling, you'll be like, it'll kind of feel like you're gonna die real quick, but like
You get over it.
they say some shit. They're like, oh, your heart will like beat like really, really fast, but like just it's okay. Like I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, dude.
No, that's
I'm
not
like, nah, it's all good, bro. Cause like, and it's also scary to say you sweat and then like you don't meet the mark. Like you need to sweat something out that's not there anymore. And you're like quote unquote dry. You know what I mean? You're completely like dehydrated, you know? So I think if I just cut out, which I do all the time, I just cut out the carbs and the sugar, and I will controlled be 160, just controlled. But I walk around at like 167, like 165. Like that's like kind of like my walking weight. I bulked up a little bit because I pulled 176 in Reno, the Arnold Classic qualifier. I just pulled like 2 weeks ago. What was it, like a week and a half ago? I was 172. Like, you know, like that seems like kind of like hella big, you know, you think, but like it's not like muscle, you know what I mean? Like a lot of it's just water and like fat and shit. Actually I'm not that heavy, you know what I mean? I fluctuate so much.
Yeah, unless it was like translating to gym, a lot of gym time, which that's not really your thing. You're mostly
No.
table time, right? Yeah. We're
Yeah.
very, very similar in that respect with weight and cutting. Yeah, because right now I'm pretty cozy in like the 170, 172
Right.
range.
Yeah, I'm in that
Um,
range.
And to make these last, the Kraken and the desert tournament, I wanted to be able to pull that 185, but I also wanted to get the 165 since I was so close. So for me,
Right.
it looks the same. Like I'm not cutting water. I'm not doing any of that. I just
Yeah, no.
a little bit of sugar, maybe,
Right.
just a tiny bit cleaner and
Right. Maybe like not as big
like 3
portion.
days.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well that's all I do. Nothing too special.
Yeah. I think you should feel comfortable, but the people that are at a high level, who am I to say I'm still in a learning position?
Yeah, we're students, man. We're always
right.
gonna be students of the game, unless you're freaking Devin Larrett or John Brzenk,
Yeah.
There's still room to learn. Yeah.
Jamie says, "My bad, Rick," and he says, "I love you." And in the love.
Right on.
Johnny has a question for Casey. How is the health? You all good?
Oh yeah, bro. How are you?
'Cause
Yep.
your Instagram post
Yeah,
scared all of us.
my brain's back to normal. My blood pressure is normal right now. Everything seems good. I'm more on top of my diet. I test my blood pressure every day. So, just staying on top of it, trying to keep stress low.
Yeah.
Gonna alternate how I pull too, because I think I overhype myself before matches and I build up too much adrenaline and then I dump it mid-match. So I don't think that's good for my blood pressure either.
Right.
So I'm gonna try to be more focused and calm. So we'll see if that makes a difference. If I still produce the power I can, just going all out.
Do you have
But
to
health is good.
do you have to make adjustments in like nutrition and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, you just look at me, I don't eat the best. So yeah, I definitely made some big changes.
That's good. Well, yeah, I'm
Real
very,
good.
very glad to hear you're doing good, man. That's great. Yeah, all of us were a little bit like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh too, and shout out to Josh Edwards. He's not with us today. He might pop in. Hopefully he does. But I know he's been going through some health stuff as well. So definitely wishing Josh well. And Johnny also says, question number 2, Evan, how do you balance training and your active duty obligations? So let me preface that for everybody getting to know Evan a little bit. Evan is in the Marine Corps, and he's based over there near ET and trains with all those guys in the Alpha Empire East area.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Evan's a
I remember
stud.
him. I was trying to wonder why. I remember seeing videos of him like where.
Right. At the Nutri Shop and stuff.
Oh,
I think the
athletes nutrition.
recent video we saw, what was it? ET pulling 2
Yeah,
people.
both.
You on
I
one
almost
arm?
got him.
Yeah,
He didn't-
yeah. You were definitely the one that I'm in a decent position. Yeah. Yeah. He's a tricky sucker though. I mean, he's very strong too. So the question was, yeah, how do you balance training and active duty?
It's different now because I've been to multiple units in the Marine Corps. So I'm at my second unit now. And the way that this unit works is I get a certain amount of chow time, well, eating time. And I use that time to go to the gym. So during the middle of my day, instead of eating, I have like pre-made meals that I make on the weekends. So that way I could plan it out through the week. And I'll go to the gym for 2 hours, do whatever my workout is. And from that point, I'll just continue on with my work day. And then once I get home, like if I need to do any sort of like rehab training, or if I want to do any sort of like accessory stuff, whether it be just like band work rice bucket training, whatever the case may be, I'll do it that way.
Right on. All right. So for anybody that says they don't have time,
Make time.
tell you, yeah, you make some time. Yeah, that's awesome. We had a lot of big talks about that on last week's show with Ricky Ramos, the Latonas, and Adam Silver. In terms of what training, looks like for different people. And I guess the biggest contrasting what styles of arm wrestling training is those that are primarily table time and those that work gym in as well. But that, I think most of us agreed on that show that if you want to level up, gym has to be included in, but it can get real muddy. It can get real complicated.
Yeah. If you definitely don't know how to train around it, because I've been at this for about 8 months now, arm wrestling. And before arm wrestling, I did I haven't done any shows, but I did bodybuilding. I trained for bodybuilding and I also trained for powerlifting. So getting around those like joint pains when you're a beginner and those like newbie tendon pains, understanding that you don't always have to lift heavy weight all the time and that blood flow work and lightweight is very important. Once I shifted around that and actually got into a certain tempo to build my tendons to be stronger, I'm able to slowly pack on the weight that I once did. And then from that point, it's more progression in strength based off of arm wrestling lifts. And then secondarily, my compound lifts. So like bench press, squat, and deadlift. It's all secondary to my arm wrestling lifts. So.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. And yeah, one thing that I was kind of realizing in terms of any contradiction between gym and arm wrestling, they really, even if you're lifting heavy, it seems like it shouldn't contradict that much unless it's arm wrestling gym lifts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because there's no reason why you can't find the energy to work around it in muscle groups isolated, like shoulders, bench. A lot of times for people, bench is really good recovery.
It also hurts the most. Yeah. when you first start on arm wrestling, the bench press feels like your arms are about to snap.
Right. Yeah. Push-ups were one I had to kind of like change up. Josh was trying to get in here. I think I lost you. Try again, Josh. The having your hands like this for push-ups, I definitely at some point had to switch to this or the bar thing that you use. But Sarah Latona was a big advocate of the push-ups and pull-ups.
Hey.
There it is. What's up, Josh?
What up, Josh?
What's up, guys?
What up, Josh?
Very good to see you, man. You look like you're in good spirits today.
Yeah, I am. I'm cooking and stuff. I totally spaced it.
Oh no, it's all good. Josh is the bomb cook. He was a professional chef, weren't you, Josh, at one point?
Yeah, I was a celebrity chef for like 3 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you taught me.
I cooked for Snoop Dogg, Ty Dolla $ign, the Chargers, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I got invited to be on the Beach House tour with Ty Dolla $ign, but my wife was like, "I know what goes on in the backstage."
I know the shenanigans.
Yeah, but it was really cool because I was able to plug my buddy Tommy in with the offer and get him on there. So
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Bone Thugs.
It was super cool because like they would come and everybody be tripping off the stars, but they all wanted pictures with me because I cooked their food. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
You have to remember the cook. What are you talking about? You have to.
You have to.
How come you never told me this, bro?
Hey, dude, Josh, I was thinking the exact same thing, buddy. What?
Like,
I mean, I don't really like to, talk about myself all the time. I mean, shit. But no, I've done a lot of I've done a lot of crazy stuff in my life. When I was 16, I toured the band's Warped Tour. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Warped Tour, but I used to play with the band, and we played on the band's Warped Tour for quite a bit. And so, yeah, I did a lot of stuff in my life. Yeah.
What band was that?
Now I'm old and all like jacked up, bro. So,
Bro, I thought you were yanking our chain, bro. I'm sorry.
no. hey, you know what? A lot of people do, because a lot of the things I've done in my life, I guess they sound pretty fantastic, which they are. But yeah, like, no, I mean, I can prove everything. I have no reason to make stuff up.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You might be getting older, but the facial hair is still going strong. Let me tell you that.
Hey, you see that gray right there?
That just means you eat good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey,
Power
I'm
and wisdom.
definitely eating a lot better. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well,
My
guys,
bodybuilder friend told me stick with rice and chicken breast and stuff like that. So
It gets boring,
Yes.
but it works.
yeah, I hear the same thing from ET. We've got Adam Silver in the house, Strength Net. Adam says, Adam Silver, that dude is awesome.
Adam,
Come up
that dude
earlier.
is awesome.
See, Kane, we just have to remember we're nothing.
Yeah. It don't take remembering for me, man. It just is. Yeah, but so we've also got Joel Cagle in the house. What's up, Joel? Yeah, it's good to see you, man. I love that guy. He's cool. We had some good conversations about chicken farming and all kinds of stuff when I went out there to Oklahoma. That dude's a strong beast. He says JM presses, end of conversation for best arm wrestling exercise.
Especially for the elbows. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves those JM presses. Yeah, I like them too. Yeah, they seem really, really helpful. They don't seem to help me in my press at all, but they definitely help me. And then Johnny Dank says, Adam Silver, he's nothing.
There it is.
I could take that guy in a hook.
Which brings up an interesting chat. Joel Cagle just asked Redman versus StrengthNet. So and Redman and who wins? So Redman, that is Joel, right? Is that Joel's nickname?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay. And then StrengthNet, of course, is Adam Silver. I like that match.
Yeah,
What
it's
do
a
you
good
guys
match.
think?
That's a good match.
Set it up.
If Joel doesn't top roll him really quick.
I would give Joel a little bit. I'd give Joel a
Yeah.
little bit on that one. Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, it's just hard because, like, for a hook, like, okay, Adam would, but I love Adam. You just gotta top roll his ass though.
Yeah, right.
I love you, Adam. I love you, but I think Joel could top roll if he's not quick enough to top roll Adam. Maybe if gets to the strap, then. But Adam could fight a little bit with the hand back too.
Yep.
It'd be
I
very
think if
interesting.
Adam trained for a match, he could win for sure.
Definitely.
If Adam actually trained for a match, had a match coming up and trained for it, I think he could win.
Specifically for that match. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's got a lot of stuff he does on the side too. Like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
Busy man. Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit, and he is very aware of areas that can be exploited, and he's a smart dude. He's working on every aspect. From my perspective, I definitely just want to see that match in a hook. I want to see what happens between Joel and Adam in a hook.
Adam probably wins in a hook. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say though. Because Joel's getting big right now too.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
That's one thing about Joel. Joel's got a good hook. He's got a strong hook. He can grind, but yeah, he is a very well-rounded arm wrestler.
He's not 155 anymore. Joel's like going to 180 now.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah, he's like huge, bro, I swear. Like
Vulcan season, baby.
Let's do this, Joel. Let's do this.
yeah, he's like not. He said he's not going to pull 55s anymore.
Okay.
That's what he told me in Missouri when I saw him in Missouri last month.
All right. Right
Hey,
on.
Beans, we got Halloween coming up. I got a real scary story for you guys.
Oh, let's hear it.
So, Ricky Garay's coming down to 220.
No.
Yeah. Eventually, yes. And hopefully I'll stay there this time.
Watch
230.
out. Watch
Yeah.
out.
There's a lot of people that got to worry about that for sure. I'm happy I do not have to worry about that.
Jump in with Carl and Scott and Jody.
Oh, I forgot that's who was in that class.
Hey,
Rick.
Hey, Ryan.
Don't come
Yeah,
down.
Ryan. Dude, Ryan Ballesteros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bad class, bro.
It's a
Yeah.
bad class. It is.
Dude,
Mhm.
it's fucking yeah.
Well, I think it's more fun for you because then you could just pull that class and the classes above it and get a lot of fun bowling in.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Now you're not forced to pull one. You can start pulling more than one class. It's awesome. Yeah, Joel says, let's see. Oh, wait. Let me back up here. Yeah, Adam says, you guys are nothing. I'm coming for you. He's talking some serious smack here. So yeah, he's gonna take you on, Casey. He's gonna take you on, Rick. He's taking everybody.
Who's that?
Adam Silver.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And in regards to Joel wanting a match with him, yeah, Adam says he'd be up for it. So let's set this up. And Johnny Dang is asking, what about the rapper Redman versus Adam Silver?
Soft day.
I don't know.
That's what I thought we were
Redman
talking about when you said Red Man.
yeah, he's got zero chances.
See, Caleb's face right now is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys want to touch on the super matches? Because I gotta.
Oh, you got to cut?
soon. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to cut in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So your match, Caleb, with Kevin Lastly. How you feeling about that?
Yeah. Yep. It's unknown. I don't know anything about. Like I've seen videos, and he's pulled Don Mormon. So like and they've had a pretty close match. You know, they went back and forth. I've pulled Don a lot. He pulls with us out here in NorCal. So I have a lot of experience with Don, and I know how strong Don is. You know, so that's a little, you know, that there's definitely like in the back of my head, like, okay, this could definitely be something here, but I don't know what to expect. So I'm just coming in blind, feeling strong. You know, low 170s. I'm feeling bigger, so we'll see. Feeling big. So, Josh has all the knowledge on Kevin.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Kevin's
Spill
he's a
it,
beast.
Josh. How's this match
He-
going to go?
well. I mean, so I'm biased, right? To Caleb. I mean, that's my boy, and I train with him, you know, quite often over the past couple of years. Kevin, he won the world championship in the 90s, right? And the best way that I can explain Kevin's pulling is the 90s, right? And so he still pulls very old school style, very straight to the side. Not a lot of outside hand or anything. He does have a very strong grip, and he holds on. But with him, it's kind of a lot of loading, staying tight, and just coming straight down to the side. That's his move. He is strong. And like Don said, that, you know, in his whole time of pulling, that Kevin has the strongest hand he's ever felt. So, like, it, you know, for his weight, you know, I think is what he was saying. But he has a super strong hand. I think that Caleb is probably too technical, like currently, because arm wrestling has advanced so much, and Kevin, you know, is still kind of set in his ways in that old school style of pulling. So I think that there's a lot more options for Caleb. If the match stops, it becomes interesting, because Kevin is very strong and he does stay very tight. But if I was to give like a guess on the score, I would say it would be 3-1 Caleb.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That one definitely represents the old school versus the new school, seeing what happens. The other match that you have coming up, Caleb, that I'm real hyped on. See, I don't know a lot about Kevin Lastly, never pulled him. I just have a lot of respect for him because I know, he's been around and is very well respected. But you are also pulling December 9th at the Kringle pull.
Oh yeah.
Travis Preventure's event. You're pulling Jamie Barrett, who I'm pretty sure he's number one into 165 in all of Australia. Trains regularly with Ryan Bowen, Lachlan Adair, and he did make a trip out, through the States early in the year, and he was just killing it.
Right.
And there's one interesting thing before we started the live stream that you and I were talking about, that he actually has a match set up with Hunter Knopfs.
Right.
How long before your match?
So he has the match with Hunter either like November 30th or like the 1st of December or something, or like something like he literally is, it's like a week, because in his mind he's only going to be out here for like X amount of time, so he wants to get all
get
all the matches he can, and I understand that too, but in the same respect, to say that he will be, and I'm not trying to devalue anything, and this will also that actually adds more value to if he beats me, but I'm saying to say if he would be 100% after he pulls our number one guy in the USA, because I don't know if you know about Hunter, Hunter's the last guy to beat Roman Gromov.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter's literally cream of the crop, nationally recognized as the number one contender.
He won the Invitational, didn't he?
Huh?
The 154
Yeah,
Invitational.
Him and Roman were 1-1. They both beat each other once, and Roman's untouchable at 155. And Roman beats 198 guys. On a competitive level. But how are you gonna have a match with that guy? And I like his chances in that match too. But the point I'm trying to say is that they are both dive in hook pullers, and he made comments about oh, well, it's not going to matter. I'm going to, blast them 3-0. So I'll be fresh for you, so he's feeling in his mind, he's like, oh, I'll go anywhere with you, so he's feeling really, really confident. And he's really strong, rightly so, from what I've seen, he's beaten Vosgin, I think he's got you once or twice, Kane. He beat ET. He's strong. He's a legit arm wrestler. I lost to Vosgin. I have beat ET and I've pulled you, Kane. But there's variables. And he's super legit. He's young. Ceiling is limitless. But I think it's pretty cool that there's some data there. Definitely gonna be interesting. Because I don't even know. I've only pulled people that's pulled them. So it's really exciting to see how that goes.
Yeah, from my perspective, in both of you guys' spots, man, you're so close. Just in terms of raw arm strength when you get into your spot. So that could be interesting. My thoughts on the Hunter Knopfs match before your match, granted that they are strong hook pullers,
Right.
I don't know, just in all the matches, I've never pulled Hunter, but I've seen a whole lot of his matches. I've never seen him in a grinder with anybody.
Right. Yeah, he always just goes straight through.
It's straight to the pad. So I mean, could there be an exception with Jamie? Is he that strong in a hook that this match could stand still? But based on the history, even Jamie, he's not often caught in a long match. So
What up, Evan?
Evan.
What up, little Evan? We got little Evan right there.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that's not Evan.
Oh,
Oh,
what's
no, that's not Evan.
up?
There's Aaron. That's his sister.
What's up?
Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, man,
there's a
he's
good chance he'll show up fresh because if the matches go by quick, win or lose,
Yeah.
you know,
And one thing I also want to say, like, I just think it's really good for both of our quote unquote stocks, if you will. Like, I think it's just good to have that out there, like let's say if he does, like, let's just say, like, what if he beats Hunter, or what if it's like just a crazy match of the night, Hunter beats him, but it's like a crazy long match, and then we have a nice match. It's just good to see that, because
right.
like Hunter won the round robin invitational, and I've pulled a lot of people there, and like it's just good to have data. That's why I love traveling and pulling as much as I can, So I think it's even if I like if I don't perform the way I would like or anything, I still get to know where I stand. You know what I mean? So
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good mix happening right there between you three, and just kind of seeing where things fall. One other thing I could definitely say about Jamie is he does have really good endurance, just in terms of like turnaround recovery time, because that last tour he made out here, hitting a bunch of events, he was doing great from event to event. He after pulls quite a bit. In that respect, I think he'll be up for both matches, and they should definitely be interesting.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Does anybody in here have any predictions on that match?
I'm going with my boy Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Gotta go with the home team, Caleb, on this one.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's going to be Caleb for sure, but I think it's going to be for a specific reason. I think that Caleb does really well against guys who dedicate themselves fully to the hook. And I don't know that Jamie has a shorter arm. I mean, I don't know that he'll be able to stop Caleb coming outside. I think it could be like one of those shockers. If Caleb happens to be an underdog in this one, I think it could be one of those shockers for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think if anybody can top roll him or put him in a hook, it's Caleb. Obviously, with all our local biases, and Caleb's our boy for sure. I'm rooting for Caleb. But even
Jamie's he's like Evan's age, isn't he? I mean, you better not let him beat you. No, I'm just saying. He's a young stud, man. He's a young stud for sure.
You're both young.
Yeah.
Caleb, I know you got to go pretty soon. What do you think about Grizzly versus old Ricky?
What are they pulling? Are they pulling lefty or right?
They're pulling right hand. Right hand, best of 5.
Right. Why are they pulling right? That's my reaction to that. What the heck?
Rick said he was feeling charitable. He said that Casey's been having a tough time lately.
yeah, that sounds like me. That sounds like me.
Two left arm dominant pullers pulling right handed. So that's
a wild card.
So that's the wild card. You always have that interesting. Wow, that's like me and Kane pulling left-handed. I'm not gonna lie, my left might be a little better than Kane's because he don't do left at all. But you get my point, Phil. It's like we're not lefties at all. Let me see. Right-handed. I probably give Grizzly the edge, but here's the thing, bro. Look, here's the thing. Let's get realistic here. Like, is Casey 100% right now? I don't know, and I don't know, and that's not Rick's fault, bro. That's not Rick's fault if Casey's 100% or not. But the point is, can Casey do what he normally does? And if Rick could get to the straps, then it could be a long day for Casey. They're polar opposites. Casey doesn't want to anywhere near Rick's arm, and Rick doesn't want to. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, they're just polar opposites. They're not like, their strong suits are completely different. If
So
one or the other,
you think
There's-
Rick's better off in the strap against me?
he's a better hook puller.
Right.
Yeah.
But what about strapped up?
Like,
It
whose
just
connection's
depends,
going to be tighter?
You could go too high and mess up. You got to really commit to that, because if you go too high with the hook puller, bro, it's all bad news. You can't post against a hook puller.
Right.
That's the only thing. So if you take a page, out of low hand, obviously we're not talking about too much game plan, but I'm just trying to really think about, that's my mindset. I'm thinking about it like, if you're going high like this and you're turning in, like, you're in a hook all day. Like, you can't post against a hook, So either you're going to low hand top roll them, and it's probably not going to go out of the straps for too long,
Right.
I don't know. It's we'll see, man. I'll be there watching, fucking on the edge of my seat. I don't know. So look, I would give Casey the edge. I'm just saying, we just saw Casey go to battle, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that that's not Rick's fault for Casey traveling every week, and pulling and shit like that, getting out there and pulling, How do you feel, Casey? That being said,
I feel great, honestly.
but I like 100% thought it would be left just because of that. Like I thought you guys would be pulling left just because you had a match.
Hey, his recovery is great. He's on a pancake diet.
No,
No,
oh,
pancakes almost killed me.
fucking damn.
But no, I feel good. I haven't pulled Rick in since North versus South. I think we played around.
Yeah.
I think that was the last time we pulled, and he was still stopping me. So we'll see what happens. But I know I'm gonna try to break that hand open.
So
I'll do the same thing. Yeah.
I'll say
Go ahead, say
KC 3-3-2.
Okay.
Like a crazy war, but I won't be like surprised if Rick gets them.
It's a
Either way,
realistic answer.
It's going to be a good match. I think on paper, Rick has the edge on this. He's got the experience.
I'll say that.
Got a lot of inside power. The one thing I have been liking with you, Casey, is your attention recently to your connection, because it's just real common with you big guys, especially with a bunch of hand, to really compensate with that, overcompensate with it, and your interest and focus to start working on that connection is going to change a whole lot for you, I think.
Yeah, I mean, much like Jason Latona said, you got to work on your weak link, and that's definitely my weak link right now, is staying connected to my hand.
Yep. It definitely looked better in your match with Brandon, obviously. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but I gotta run, guys.
All right,
Later,
man.
bro.
Caleb,
Hey,
thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Brother.
You guys have me. I'll see you this Saturday, Rick, Josh, and Casey. I'll see you guys.
We'll have a good time.
Oh yeah.
December, right? You and you, Evan, you guys both, you and Kane will be there.
For the Kringle pool or whatever. Yeah. I'll come.
Yeah, I'll see you guys.
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah,
brother.
Later.
We'll all be there.
Oh yeah, maybe Rick
Oh,
better be
yeah.
there too.
Hey, Evan is having his first super match this Saturday too.
Oh, is he? Oh, hell yeah, yeah. I'll be.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be.
Against Chewy. Not playing. No.
All right, guys.
Later, Caleb.
See ya.
All right, brother.
All right, so I'll catch up real quick in the chat. We had some good chats, and maybe put a little time into our main topics. I really like this one from Joel Cagle. He says, find me on all social media platforms, Joel Allen Cagles, but he also adds he will throw Adam in a hook every round. Yeah, he wants to go right into Adam's power. What happens? Joel says he's walking around.
All this talking about hook pulling is making me excited, man. What's going on? Who wants
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we need to run a hook only tournament. It'd be kind of hard to do, but like,
Imagine.
yeah, right. And he says, Joel says he's walking around at 175 and still has abs. Very cool. We got Rodell Escalara in the house saying, yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Rodell? Good to see you. And Adam said, yeah. And Adam says, I have abs too. I believe it. He says they are just under lots of fat.
He's got the power keg going on.
Yeah. Joel Cagle calls it power abs. Yeah. Connie says, same here, Adam. I'm so shredded under all this. All right, so yeah, Joel Cagle stepped out and said all the love to everybody and stay strong. Johnny Dang is also putting his baby down and sent us a bunch of eggplants. Thank you so much for that, Johnny Dang.
Dang it, Johnny.
We got Riv Slug in the house saying what's up. Hey, what's up, River Welch? And Don Mormon said, did I miss the show? No, man, we're just getting started, dude. We're just gonna dig into our main topics here for a second.
Hey, real quick, can we get back on abs real quick? Adam Silver has absolutely no chance to beat me in a hook.
Oh.
You like how I threw that in there? Adam, this is me telling you, let's do a match. Bro. You're in the chat.
This has turned into
we can put up Paul Italia's money.
Oh, dude.
Oh shit.
Hey, Kane.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to dip off too, but before I do,
yes,
can't wait to see all you guys Saturday. Casey, I'm glad you're well. Look at that. They hit pretty hard, especially when Josh was sick, but hit pretty hard. So I'm glad you guys are both doing what you're doing. So I'll see you guys then, and rest up. We'll have a good time.
All right, man.
absolutely. Have a great night, Rick.
Drive safe. I'll see you Saturday morning, brother.
You got it, bro. Take care.
Good luck. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So for a match, we obviously need to set this up with Joel Cagle too. But for you and Adam, Josh, if you were to have a match, when and where do you think this should be? You're muted, man. Yeah, you're muted.
Tomorrow at his house.
Tomorrow at his house.
Boom. Nowhere to run, baby.
Hope you didn't train arms.
Okay. All right. What do you think about that, Adam?
Honestly, I'd love to have a match with him at North versus South 2 next year, April. It's only a few months away, but it gives everybody plenty of time to train up.
All right. And that,
he is in the South now. He's kind of representing the South.
All right. Yeah, I like it. That'll be a good match. That would be next year, next April, I think you said
April
it was.
1st.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, that's one of the best events ever. North versus
Tony's in the house.
Tony.
Hey, what's up, Tony?
Dude,
Can you do one more shot before you go?
I totally fucking spaced. I'm trying to get
man. You're a
trying to
practice,
get my
right?
sound going. Hold on.
Okay. You're at practice right now or no?
Yes.
All right. Well, where is everybody? Is that like a digital banner in the back? Yeah, you got that like green screen on or something.
Let me take that off real quick. Hold on. Are you guys are live right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
We're live on Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey broadcasting to the world.
I'm sorry. This is my last practice in California, so apologies.
We're
Oh,
giving
I hope
away.
you're having fun.
You get an arm wrestling table. You get an arm wrestling table.
What's up, Orange County team? How's everybody doing over there?
Here, hold on. Let me bring you over there.
Know that. Like I'm like someone new comes and they're like really strong.
How do I take off my background is the question.
Yeah, right.
That's a dope banner, though. You know.
Your background's gonna look weird, dude. Turn more background effects. There we go. There's background effects. None. Beautiful.
There we go.
Nice.
Hey guys.
Hell yeah.
What's up, gang?
What's up?
Guys, here's my guys. I'll try to get him in more of a light here.
All right, putting in the work, everybody. Yes.
Not grind.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
All right, well, on the topic of you leaving, this is your last practice with OC. Can you give us any information on that, Tony? What's going on?
As far as the last practice in OC.
Well, in terms of you leaving Cali, is that something you can speak on at this point, or?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say now. I really don't like to like air my information out there because I just don't know until I know, and I'm a very spontaneous person, and I don't like to count my eggs, beforehand. I thought for sure I was going to Northern Colorado. Like I had everything set up. I mean, I was gonna go out there and just do some serious damage, right? So whoever's listening from Colorado, I'm sorry. It's no longer the case because it fell through. I'm going to Missouri.
Oh.
I'm going just outside of Springfield, Missouri. I'm going to be starting something good and fresh down there, and I'm going to go and surprise the guys in St. Louis. St. Louis, I'm going to jump into the guys that are in Springfield. So there is I think a smaller team in Springfield, and I just don't know yet. So like they haven't really posted much, after COVID. From what I see, so they may or may not be there. But if they are there, I'm going to surprise them. Otherwise, I'm going to be starting something great down there. I already see some potential, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I finally get to hit up St. Louis. St. Louis is only about 3.5 hours, 4 hours tops for me.
Okay.
Where I'll be. And also Arkansas. So Michael Todd's place is only about 5 hours from where I'll be. So I'm gonna jump in there and I'm gonna start fucking, harassing Corey West and Michael Todd.
Bro, everywhere is within 5 hours. There's like so many states that are right there around Missouri, and Missouri is a great state by itself. I love that state, but it really is the most central location within our country. So we have a guy like you going to settle there. I'm looking forward to whatever you do with that state in terms of building arm wrestling. I've been waiting to see some really cool events and organizations coming out of central US where we can, get some really good competitions going and really interesting events.
Well, you know that WL's coming back, right?
I mean,
I've heard rumors about it.
Yeah. So I think that's one of my things that I kind of have in the back of my brain right now. I ultimately want to get there. I want to plant my feet. I want to relax for a minute, and just kind of get my bearings and heal a little bit because my body is not great right now. Like my body literally shut down. Not even last Monday, like 8 days ago. I was bedridden for 24, almost 36 hours, dude. I was just like, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a flu, cold. I've never been bedridden from a flu or cold ever. I've never been bedridden from COVID, but it was almost like all the symptoms without the symptoms. And it was, my body was just like, no, you're going to sleep, you're going to sweat, you're going to throw temperatures multiple times. Dude, I was so hazy. I was so hazy for a solid 4 days. So hazy. And then finally I just kind of got better. But my body right now it's feeling it. It's feeling it. I'm healing. So I need to heal. I need to mentally heal. Where'd you go? So I need to mentally heal and just get better. You guys still there, right?
Yeah.
And it just sucks. Sickness sucks, number one. But stress is real. When you're stressed out, I lost my job. I started my own business. So it's almost like I compounded stresses. Not only losing my job, not having the best of marriages, fighting with the wife, whatever. And the reason why I'm actually leaving is because me and my wife are done. So just to let it be out there, because she thinks I should actually tell everybody, being that I'm being all, secretive about everything and where I'm going. We're done. So that is what it is. And I'm not going to make a big deal about it. It's new beginnings, new me. I get to focus on me 100% now, where I need to go, what I want to do. If I want to go to New York and arm wrestle with those guys, I'm going to do that. I don't have to ask permission. I don't have to bring anybody with me. It's just me. So what I do from this point out is me. And it's going to be good times, really good times. So other than that, just keeping the motivation, becoming more inspirational for people, because I've had a lot of support. A lot of people love seeing me arm wrestle, even people outside of arm wrestling. And I want to continue and build upon that. No, I'm not the best arm wrestler in the world, but pretty good, I think. I hope, in some people's eyes, and I have the respect of a lot of arm wrestlers, and I just want to build upon that.
Man, it's a new chapter for Tony Thomlison.
100%. You know what? Has anybody seen Nick Zena lately?
Not lately, no.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Has anybody seen Nick Zena lately? Or does anybody know about Nick Zena?
I mean, I know who he is, but I haven't seen anything out there about him or from him lately.
Okay, so the dude is only going to be about maybe a 3-hour drive from me.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to bring that dude back.
Yeah.
Nice.
See. Yep. I'm going to bring that dude back. You're going to be seeing me smash him though. But he's going to come back and he's going to love it just as much, and he's going to come back better. And I want to actually get him mentally and physically ready to take his man card back from Chance Shaw, because I think that's when he had his downfalls and he got beat by Chance Shaw.
Okay. All right. Yeah, always building people up everywhere you go, Tony. That's why we love you, man.
I mean, what else is there? What else is there? Like literally, like this is what I love to do. It's a no-brainer. So like, it's not something I try to do. It's something I just do.
Definitely.
You do it well.
Yeah,
What's that?
You do it well.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's why Missouri's very fortunate to have you. All the surrounding states will be very fortunate to have you out there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what comes out of that. It's so much fun over there. Like, you can go on a drive out there and pass through like 3 or 4 states in the same damn day. It's pretty gnarly, and not even that long too. But yeah, you're gonna get to like grip up with so many people. And just in terms of arm wrestling, I think it's a good move. You know, you're the man here in California, right? Um, and now you're moving somewhere a little bit more central. You're gonna get to grip up with the South guys, the Northeast guys, the Midwest guys, and anybody that's serious from California that travels. Yeah, it's going to be, I think, a great opportunity for you to level up even more if you even can, you know what I mean?
Dude, and leveling up is what we do. We don't do this without leveling up.
Yeah.
If you're not leveling up, you're not doing what you need to do.
Yep.
There's no point. Like, okay, so camaraderie. Some people are in it for camaraderie. Like they have nothing else better to do in this world and they're alone. So then they find a team and they find a sense of camaraderie and family. And that's great. It's a great thing. But if you are a competitor like me, I am a natural born competitor. I'm a natural born athlete and a natural born winner. I win. If I don't win, I'm gonna win. You know, eventually. I mean, ask Cody Merritt, bro. Like, do you think I have no wins on that guy? I got wins. You know, and he's demolished me as of recent because he took it seriously. But the thing is like I can be at that level. Now I get to focus on being on that level instead of having so many different responsibilities, so many different distractions. Man, I'm telling you, watch and see. Watch and see. It's on and cracking.
Oh man, I'm on the
It's gonna be so
train.
much fun.
And I believe there's some fundraisers going on out there to, get you on your feet in the big move. Can you put out there where anybody can contribute to the big move that you're making so we can get you settled and where you want to be?
I'm doing Venmo. I don't know them right offhand. They're on my post on Facebook though.
Yep.
I could it's probably too late to get them to you right now, but it's Tony Thomlison. Venmo, Cash App, it is what it is. But ultimately, I'm not super worried about that. I'm not looking for handouts. It's basically whoever wants to donate to me is being appreciative to me for what I've done, everything else. I don't have a chip on my shoulder so much that that I feel like people owe me something. Nobody owes me anything. Nobody. But if you want to donate for me and my cause, then you will on your own accord, voluntarily. I'm not going to mention a name, but there's a name that I had a little spat with yesterday, and he's a big name, but I'm not going to mention him. And he was just like, I don't understand why you're even asking. I wouldn't ask my father for a penny. He literally made me feel like a fucking a dude on the side of the street asking for money. And like, why are you going to be asking questions on my post? Number one, you're going to ask me questions like this is my fundraising post, and you're going to ask me where I'm like, don't fucking ask me questions if you don't feel like you want to donate. Just don't do it. Like, why?
Right.
People just don't understand that it's not an obligation that you put up a fundraiser. It's just hey, this is here if you want to support. You can if you want to, but I'm not asking you to. That's why it's an anonymous thing. It's just there for people to see. It's not there to beg people to do something. Otherwise, you'd just be DMing people for money, which is different.
And I think the feeling that I got from it, number one, was condescending. And when I said condescending, he mentioned, why do you feel like you are you're almost, in my words, it'd be like King Chum, someone that thinks that something is owed to them. I'm like, not at all. Not at all. If you don't want to donate, don't do it. Don't do it. I have my best of friends that I know that they can't donate, and they love me and they support me and they watch everything I do. And not at all do I ever feel like they're ever going to donate a penny, ever. And I'm not mad about it. But there are there are a few out there right now. And actually, I've raised, let me see, $800. I've raised $800 since that post.
Nice.
I do not push it. I do not push it. I do not, like, I put it out there and people are like, I want to donate to your cause. I love your content. I love what you do. I follow you. You motivate me. You know, I'm not sitting on the couch. I'm training, you know, like, this is what I want to hear. If you're going to donate to me, why are you donating? Is it because there has to be a reason? But the thing is like, the more so than donations, more so than money, I do what I do because this is my love. This is what makes me happy in my life. And if you're going to tell me that I want to donate $100 to your cause because, you know, I was 400 pounds and I was on death's bed and I had all these symptoms and I was going to the hospital all the time, you know, and because of you, I'm down to 280 and I fucking just saw a possum. A possum just crossed my fucking fence. I love it. But anyway, if you tell me that I have affected your life in a positive way, there's no amount of money you can actually give me that makes me happier. None.
Absolutely. And I didn't take the post in any way of expecting anything. I thought it was you know, very eloquent and humble. And I can definitely say that there is absolutely nothing wrong with advocating for yourself in a time where it might be something that can help. You're making a big move here, and you do a lot for the community. I know that's not what you're trying to put out there, but from the community perspective, you contribute wherever you go to this community. So anybody out there that just simply wants to, you know, I'm sure Tony doesn't need it. He's a smart professional dude, but like, give him a softer landing, you know, send something over, check out his Facebook. He has the information on the post if you want to contribute or anything like that. But you are the man, Tony, and you're one of the nicest guys. So yeah, anybody that can contribute.
I appreciate you.
To the East Coast, Tony, I'm gonna come find you.
I'm not going to the East Coast. I'm going to Midwest.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, well, I know because you're
I'm
going to
go to the East Coast to destroy those guys.
Hey,
Eventually,
I'll be right there.
like, I'm going Midwest. I'm gonna reactivate the Midwest is what I'm gonna try to do, because I haven't heard much about the East West as of recent. So ever since COVID.
Yeah, actually, everybody check out the chat. Benjimac, who is in the house helping moderate, he just posted the Facebook link with the post where you guys can go check it out and get any information on that. Thank you so much, Benji, for that. We also got Jake Collins in the house. What's up, Jake Collins? Good to see you. It was really good to get to meet you and watch you pull at the Kraken. We got Pablo Ochoa in the house. What's up, Pablo? Good to see you.
You see this guy right here?
Everybody?
What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Good. How are
Who's
you?
that?
That's Robbie.
Gio.
This
Oh,
guy,
all right.
this guy is someone you're gonna have to watch out for very soon. You
Let
take
me
it easy.
Oh, Robbie? Oh, yeah, man.
I'll be around. You'll see me.
Take it easy. All right. We'll see you soon. Yeah.
Well, let's at least dig a little bit into these damn topics. We've gotten into so many interesting conversations. We definitely should touch on our main topics, which are one, you know, we don't have to get too deep into this because the other topic I'd really like to dive into, but this topic, how to pull safe in arm wrestling. how to protect yourself. I know Larry had that big video going around, an arm break
Oh,
recently. That seems to be really, out there everywhere. Everyone's reposting it and stuff like that. And yeah, it's one of those things where Tony can definitely speak on this in terms of how you can prevent that. Is it something that is preventable? What's your perspective, for starters, Tony, in terms of how to stay connected and safe in arm wrestling?
If we're talking about this certain video, I will say, number one, don't ever fucking pull through anybody that's brand new and that has never been on the table.
100%.
Don't ever pull through someone like that. Literally, you needed like maybe give them a little bit, 30%, 40% if they're that strong. The case is, you don't pull through anybody that's brand new in any way, shape, or form. Casey, where did he go?
I think he probably disconnected. He'll probably come back.
I think Casey is going to be the one that's going to be understood on this as well, because him and I have been talking a lot lately about this, and we understand that when you first get newbies, let's just say this, in as many years as I've been throwing practices, in my presence I've never had an arm break, ever. And people have actually been in bad positions, and I've told them right away, this is not what you do. Stop. Don't be afraid to stop a video just because you have millions of views and you have hundreds of thousands of people watching you, doesn't mean you can't say stop.
Yeah, just stay humble about it. Like, not every video has to be a pin. Like, you can, because what I'll do with beginners, like especially, and obviously I'm not as big a veteran as you all in the room, but whenever I get like new beginners and they want to like instantly go side pressure, like, you have to literally sometimes just put your hand over top of theirs and be like, stop. Like, completely stop the match in the center of the table, release all pressure, and just be like, hey, we're going to start from scratch.
And slowly.
Yes.
Slowly. So in that video, what I saw was a distraction. So someone that was getting in a bad position right away, just like most everybody does. Anybody that I've ever known has always went into that kind of position. Someone has to be physical. Someone has to put hands on. This is not stop what you're doing, pull this way without being hands on. You can't be vocal with someone that has an ego. This motherfucker had an ego.
He really did. You could see in the video.
You can
The
tell
guy who broke his arm.
Yeah, because Adam in the video was trying to instruct him on what to properly do.
Yeah.
And he's like, stop. And the kid was just, not looking at his arm, not paying attention. And, not to mention he doesn't have a conditioned elbow, because I'm assuming he's brand new to the sport and his tendons aren't built up. But when he gets externally rotated, even if he's still inside the shoulder line, he's still getting externally rotated outside of his shoulder alignment. So with that,
way you pan it out, it's about control. Like, you need to have control over a newbie. You get a newbie Black Widow. He might be dangerous as fuck, but he's gonna kill himself way sooner than he needs to. Yep. And that was the exact prime example of that. Dude seemed powerful, but he just didn't know how to arm wrestle. And
right.
I don't put blame on him at all. I put blame, number one, on the person that was arm wrestling with him, which is Larry. And trust me, if anybody's watching this that is connected to Larry, or even if Larry himself is watching this video right now or this podcast, Larry needs to be the number one guy to understand the pressures that's going on. He knew where the dude was going. Right? Now, does Larry understand to stop? Or has he been around so many trainers to teach him this and teach him that that he hasn't learned to be a trainer himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, first off, we do have Adam Silver here in the chat who, yeah, of course, works specifically with Larry and a lot of his, media channel and stuff. He says, just so you know, Larry was at 50% at most, and the kid was also at 50%. The kid told us afterwards that he had a bone density issue. So I'm sure those all play factors, but in terms of kind of understanding both sides and what you're saying here, Tony, too, there's a lot of people that have been on the other side of an arm break situation, whom I highly respect, but most times they're relatively new in the sport. Now, all the things that you're saying are coming from somebody that is very experienced. You've been coaching for a long time. So the words that you're expressing, I primarily see as coaching, which I think we can all take a bit of that, because the fact is, so I've been in the sport for 4 years. I've seen a bunch of arm breaks already, not like, on the table with me, but like I've seen a lot of them. Now, at 4 years in the sport, I think, Evan, you just said like that I'm one of the veterans on here. I'm not. Like, I consider myself new. And usually with a new person, I don't think even I am the best person. Like, I'll try and help teach them how to be safe and everything like that. But I don't have the, I think, the care and the experience that someone like Tony would have. So I think everything that you're saying, Tony, is very helpful, but I also don't think anything ill about Larry or anything like that. I think Larry's amazing for this.
I don't think ill of Larry at all.
He's newer than me too. He just happens to be incredibly strong, and he has, a lot of the best coaches teaching him. But is he a coach? I wouldn't go as far as to say that.
Dude, you should get Adam on here, like live, so that way we can talk about this.
Okay.
See if you want to get on.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the link, Adam, if you want to speak on this a little bit. He did.
I just want to say one thing while you're, if you don't mind, while you're doing that. I'm obviously still a baby in the sport, right? I'm only a couple years in, but like everybody on my team, I can hold them. I can just let them work, anything like that. But I'm famous for it. Like any of the guys who train with me, they'll tell you, I let everybody pull through me and pin me. Like I don't give any stopping pressure or anything when we're training. It's all going through the motion, and light, in my beliefs, light work in proper technique will create the strength where it's needed. Right. So you don't have to like go full force while you're training or anything like that. But I never do. Whenever I feel a guy pulling, especially if I see that he could be in a risky position, I always just let my hand go right to the pad. No problem. And I'll tell him, hey, watch out what you're doing.
I agree with that partially, only because of the fact that you do need to help other people train. But ultimately, if you're going to be the best, you need to train for yourself as well. But it has to be a situation where people understand that and know that this is what you're doing. They're going against you. They're not trying to pin you. They're literally like, you might have two people against you. You have bands, you have whatever the case is that keeps them safe. And they're going to be safe because they know that they're not going to pin you. But you need to train for pinning as well. You got to, because otherwise you're just always going to lose. It's got to be both ways. But when I'm talking about a newbie that gets on the table, no straps, no assistance, no nothing like that, has no fucking idea what's going on, it's something bad's going to happen when you pull through him, right? It's just going to be inevitable.
Right.
Now,
100%.
I just don't feel like Larry was completely aware of what was going on. I don't. Now, when it comes to Adam was a little bit at fault too. I blame him a little bit as well, because of the fact, number one, he wasn't a referee. He was a bystander at that point, but it was a practice in which that everybody that knows what to do and sees something, you should speak up. You should speak up. He spoke up, and which is a great thing. But he spoke up, but he didn't get physical. He ran over there and said, "This is what you need to do." It became a distraction, in which led to that catastrophe. He was equally as fault as Larry was because of a distraction. He should have put hands on the dude.
I think for me, as a beginner puller, like watching something like that, it's a huge, like the first red flag for me was the kid was not looking at his hand whatsoever. The second red flag for me is he's pulling inside. And especially if you're a new puller, like those tendons and your elbow is not conditioned to sustain that amount of pressure, let alone from a very strong gentleman like Larry Wheels. Like there's no way. So for me to slowly try and pull through him rather than just pull him straight back, because let's be honest, Larry Wheels probably could have hammer curled his bicep just easily. So because whenever I pull beginners, I pull back. I just pull their arm straight out to where it goes like this rather than going like this to the pad. Because I don't care about the pad at that point. I just want you to be safe. So my end goal is going to be to make sure your arm is straight out. So that way you don't do some weird kinky stuff outside of your shoulder alignment, which if you get pulled through, obviously they're going to try and hold it with all of their body pressure and hashtag test your frame. And it's
Ego puller.
Yes, ego puller, 100%. Especially once they get that shoulder committed to, because obviously the beginner pullers, their first initial reaction is like, oh, I got to shoot my body forward and get as much as I can behind the hand. And yeah, it just never works out. So just noticing those red flags early on definitely would have helped prevent that situation. But it's kind of hard to say that in the moment because you're so invested in the pulling itself.
The pulling and the video.
Yeah.
Blame it on the video as well.
There's part of me. There's part of me that feels like there's a percentage of that whole protect yourself at all times in any combat sport. It's like if we have boxing gloves on, you don't need to tell me to put up my hands to block you from hitting me. I'm going to try to block, right? So there's part of me that feels like there's a percentage that beginner themselves, like you're putting yourself on in that position. You got to know not to go balls to the wall and, try to give it 100% effort when you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's kind of,
you're talking about something that should be known, the common sense. Do you know how many people have common sense?
Common sense isn't so common.
Common sense ain't common. I mean,
it's not common at all.
I know.
Yeah, it is. It
pisses me off so bad because I think common sense should be very common. But the thing is, like, when you're talking about keep your gloves up, dude, that's my fucking wheelhouse. I'm a fighter. I've been a boxer for a long time, right? The thing is there's not a whole lot of boxers that have that common sense to keep your gloves up. They just want to punch. People think you get in a boxing, you just punch. You want to punch somebody. Hey, here's Adam. Yes. So
protect the chin.
You want to hurt something. You want to the basic person, the basic athletes. They don't have those common senses. They need to be those common senses. Okay. So I do disagree with you a little bit, but I agree at the fact that it should be common sense for sure.
Right.
I guess that it just comes from the same type of thing. Like my brother was a Golden Gloves boxer, and so I always heard him say, like, when you hit, you put your hands right back up and you get in your safety position. You get in, where you're supposed to be. So you're right, though. I mean, it's not common sense, which it should be, but I just always think like when anybody's new at something, if you're new at driving a car, you're not going to get in and press the pedal down to the floor unless you're just.
But they fucking do.
I know. That's the point.
There's a reason why waivers are signed at tournaments and such like that. It is a dangerous sport. It is. But we are fortunate enough to have our Tony Thomlisons, our Derek Smiths out there that have been around it long enough and care to teach how to arm wrestle safe. And that's what this topic is about, is how we can do that. But
don't pull inside.
Right.
Hey,
we got Adam who just popped in here, who was actually there at that occurrence and can actually speak from his perspective. Let's dig into it. Adam, how's it going?
That's good. How are you guys?
What's up,
Good,
bro?
good.
Real good.
Excellent. So yeah, this kid that wanted to arm wrestle has a little bit of experience arm wrestling, so he wasn't completely brand new. He used to practice with Martin, Lil Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that recently had got a win on Vresh. That guy, that Martin. Yeah. So he had some experience, and what we were doing is just going. First of all, the camera wasn't even supposed to be on at that time, so that wasn't supposed to be recorded for. He wasn't part of the whole video that we were making. So anyway, basically, we weren't going to go ahead and referee a match. What we were supposed to be doing was teaching him how to pull backwards. So I actually stepped behind him and to the side. And as Larry was pulling him, I'm trying to tell him, pull backwards, on Larry's fingertips. So they were both going fairly light. When I say fairly light, according to both of them, they were going at about 50%. Larry was probably not even going 50%, to be very honest with you. Larry's very strong. So, and the kid just got into either a very strange position very quickly, as you saw in the video.
Mm-hmm.
But also there was that additional factor that he had some kind of issue with his bone density. So, and we didn't know that before he stepped onto the table. We knew that he was practicing with Martin. So that's as far as we knew. That's as much as we knew. Yeah.
I can see a bone density issue, like it'd be easier,
Yeah, but also, we have 4 years of arm wrestling, a big club in Dubai where everybody's brand new. So we had bodybuilders coming over there. You know how bodybuilders could be a little bit dangerous.
To the side, yep.
So yeah, exactly. So we have a lot of experience making sure that people don't get hurt. But there are freak accidents that can happen.
This is definitely a freak accident.
It's not every single one of them is ever going to be prevented. Even though you've had a great, great record, Tony, you never know. You might just get somebody that who knows what's going on. Just goes really fast and pop, it just happens. So
I agree with that. It can happen for sure.
Yeah, that's just, it was very awkward. I didn't even see the guy looking in too bad of a position. It was very strange, and they both weren't going very hard.
Too bad of a position for a world champion that has been doing this shit for years and years. Sure.
Yeah.
It was at the very end of the video where he got like slightly torqued out of position.
Exactly.
It's very small.
Exactly. It's small, and it just happened so quickly. Like, most people can get in that position for a little bit and then you're like, whoa, stop. And then you're okay.
It was instant.
It was so fast.
Yeah.
I really like Johnny Dang's perspective on this in the chat. He says, I think Larry knew what he was doing. The distance from quote unquote safe to arm break is extremely short and is rapidly approached. He also said Larry didn't pull through that guy. He barely moved.
Right.
Use
exactly.
Snap.
Oh yeah.
Whatever
like we were saying, it was a very minimal adjustment. The going outward. It was very minimal.
People can break their arms against somebody. So Larry didn't pull through him, but he broke his arm against Larry. And just recently this happened with me about 2 months ago in Arizona. So I was at Eric Wolf's house, and I was with his team, arm wrestling with them. I posted the video just, I guess, about a week ago. And one of their guys who's 2 years experience wanted to arm wrestle me really badly. And so I was basically holding him there the whole time, and he broke his arm against me. And it happened so quickly, nobody could say anything, just pop. We didn't post that video, of course.
Did you have his position, his form at all? Did you feel like he was out of form at all?
No, not until the very last second. The last second, he did go out of form. He went totally out of form. And he was like, I've tested my frame many times, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah,
Not all
I-
microfractures heal, man, you know?
No, well, the thing
Yeah.
is that I've seen too many people do that, even very experienced arm wrestlers, and it baffles me. What's his name? Zurab that broke his arm.
Yeah. It was,
I mean,
yeah.
why go for that? It just to win that match.
He
I don't
really
know, it
dug
just
in for that
baffles
too.
me.
He
He
committed.
did. So, but this kid did. It went very fast.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
What I'm talking about. I'm talking to Zarab. Zarab is one of the best.
Yeah.
He's his arm in that kind of position. People get too comfortable and too complacent in being in bad positions. Like, let's say for I'm gonna throw Benji under the bus right now.
Yeah.
Benji, I mean, he's here right now. I'm wrestling, I
He
believe.
is. He was there. Yeah. But I agree with you there.
He has
But
been
also he knows.
position.
He knows, and he accepts
he's
that.
been arm wrestling in a bad position ever since he started with.
Mhm.
And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and finally I'm like, you know what? You break your arm, you break your arm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He said
You
he
never
takes
break somebody's arm in the sport of arm wrestling. They always break their own arm.
right.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
But there's also the teacher and student situation, which is
There
talking,
is. Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
Adam, you were on the right track when you were telling him to pull back. You were telling him to pull. This is what he needed to do. And if you're saying that that was the essence of the video, then that's what he needed to be doing, and he wasn't doing that. He was ego pulling, thinking that maybe Larry wasn't as strong as he was, because Larry was only giving
so.
percent of what he needed to do. You know, but at the same time, from what I saw on the video, Larry was oblivious to what was going on. He was just doing his thing and doing his little. Seemed like he was doing little workouts with
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is it did feel like you know, when we're warming up and you're going through the motions and like messing around a bit. That's what it was like in terms of, from his perspective, the amount of pressures he was using. So this kid was not using that much pressure either. You would have seen him being like, he was not doing that at all. He was not redlining or anything. That's why this was so crazy that it just happened, because, and he wasn't using that much pressure. Even the kid said after it happened, he was like, I wasn't even going that hard. We know that it only takes 12 pounds of pressure or so to break a bone.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that most of the time when you do see those bone breaks, those people are pressing really hard. This kid was not doing that at all.
Thanks for coming.
So Larry didn't feel anything like, you know, it would be scary. The kid that was going against me.
Just watching it, I wasn't really expecting it. Like just watching like the movements. I understand the last micro movement is
my body's not good right
happened, but I had to double take. I was like, what just happened? You know, because it wasn't like I was sitting there watching him do this for, you know, 5-10 seconds.
Exactly.
And it just happened. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so crazy how it's such a flash of a second that it took for that break to happen. And people get so scared of the sport of arm wrestling because they see these like freak breaks, but that's the thing. They're freak breaks. They're not a frequent occurrence at all. Yeah. And with the bone density issue, with the being the inside pulling, like stressing that elbow and then slightly getting pulled out of position to torque the humerus in order to make it snap. Like those are all crazy things.
Yeah, for sure.
And Adam and Larry just happen to have a massive platform, but from my perspective, I've seen this all the time. It's, you know, it's not like it's anything new to me. It's a part of the sport. But in terms of, you know, let's take that circumstance out of the equation and let's talk about, you know, how can we prevent that? Because it's not just for a day one. You know, me being 4 years in the sport, there was a point like maybe like 2 or 3 years in where I was like, oh, this is my frame. And it was kind of fun because you kind of like realize what your frame can actually support and feel a little bit comfortable with it. But is that a bad thing? You know, like now I feel confident in my frame, but what happens when you go against the wrong person and you're on your frame, you know? So I'm guessing Tony's going to be the best person to help give advice on this subject. But, you know, through our progression, brand new, and as we're starting to experiment on our frame, What do you think, Tony? How can we how can we protect ourselves in arm wrestling and prevent things like this?
Well, first of all, I've been against so many different newbies. There's been so many circumstances where if I had pulled 5 pounds more, just gave them a little bit more, I would have broken arms left and right. I've never broken anybody's arm because of the fact that I don't want to, number one. And two, when they do get in a bad position, I immediately lose. Immediately.
Yeah.
Ego to give into that ego.
Mm-hmm.
Once they win and you be like, okay, this is what you did wrong, you know, and if you want to get your arm broke, you're gonna do it again. You know what I mean? It's a learning curve. Arm
You've
wrestling,
got the mega baby gloves on pretty much at this point in your career.
10% power sometimes because of the fact that someone wants to beat me so bad. You know, I'll give them a little bit, but as soon as they start getting into a position which I think they could potentially cause an arm break, I'm losing immediately. I'm giving up immediately because you know what? I'm not going to break your arm. It's not worth it. It's not worth it on my psyche. It's not worth it on yours. I definitely want to get sued for it. You know what I mean? I don't want that animosity in my life. So I don't care about views. I don't care about videos. I don't care about anything like that. I care about people's health. I'm not saying that Adam and Larry didn't. They just weren't. I honestly don't think that you were completely aware of what could have possibly happened. Adam, you should have.
I was. It's, you know, I've been through it many times. So
as soon as he turned in, you should have been at his back, turning his shoulders in the right position. Actually, it wasn't even supposed to be you. It was supposed to be the referee.
Yeah.
The referee should have.
The thing was that there was no referee because there was no match happening. Well, he was going through a teaching moment. You know, that's the thing.
Was looking at it, you know. But when you got involved and you were doing the right thing, you just didn't follow through. In my opinion, you didn't follow through in the right way, and that's in my opinion. Some people are going to disagree. Mm-hmm. But I ultimately think that this instance is going to make you guys super fucking aware of what's going to go on from this point. Now, I was under the impression that this video, that this guy had never been on the table before. Mm-mm. That's the impression that I got from this video. Never been on the table, was just a super strong guy. I have no fucking idea who this guy is.
And he wasn't that strong. He wasn't super strong at all. So
I think the purpose of the video, at least from an outside perspective, was to kind of provide awareness that freak accidents do happen.
Yeah.
Rather than
I've seen
people who are in the situation. You know what I mean?
I've seen it posted. It was reposted. Like, okay, literally, I've seen one video, and then within an hour, I've seen like 18 videos. Right, everybody reposted it, and especially all the chipmunks over there. You know, the troll army and everything that like does all this. It's sad because like you watch the negative connotation be painted. And like, is everybody forgetting like what Adam and Larry has done for the sport, like in the time they've been in? You know what I mean? It's like, why is this picture of like negativity being painted when there was no ill will? You could tell there's no ill will. It wasn't like anybody was trying to hurt somebody.
Right. To the general public, that shit happened. And that will turn people away from the sport just as quick as it can bring people in as well.
See that here's the thing that really grinds me away with this, because there's videos like that happen with Larry, and then there's also very like even worse cases. Like I've seen female influencers with millions of followers literally pull outside their shoulder line like this to pin a dude at a freaking wave top bar, and they get like 2 million views and reposted by ESPN. But it's like when you get people who do the sport professionally and have a extensive background within that realm, it's like nobody cares about it. And the only people that do care about it are people with nothing better to do than to be haters and ignorant people in comment sections. And that's the really stressful part.
All the time.
Yeah, because you're sitting here trying to post awareness for something of like, hey, like you should not do this next time. But yet some girl with bikini pics is getting like millions of views because she's pulling outside of her and she beat a guy just because she beat a guy, you know?
All right. Yeah.
I kind of would rather watch
It
that.
was
Anyway.
because of the bikini.
Yeah, because of
The audience for this, I think, it was important. The amount of people that Adam and Larry are bringing in to this community that are also primarily from the strength sport world, you know, you kind of need that reminder and how to be safe in this sport, and that if you are going to put your elbow on the table, even though thank God I personally was lucky to have guys like Derek and Tony baby my ass when I came into the sport. Absolutely, 100%. But I am also of the perspective that, outside of all that, you put your arm on that table, you are responsible for that arm. Nobody else is. It's you. If anybody gives any care for you to look out for you, then great. But in this sport, if you're gonna put your elbow up there and practice, compete, whatever, that's on you, and more than likely if something snaps, you will have done it to yourself. And that's kind of how it is. The tough thing, I think a lot of ego comes into play because it's hard to teach someone, especially somebody that's a bodybuilder or into strength sports. It's hard to teach them to be safe, to accept that. I think a lot of times, I have this theory, a lot of times people translate that to you're not letting me arm wrestle. Because everybody, when they first do it, they don't feel strong here inside their shoulder. They don't feel strong pulling back. They feel strong here. They think this is where you're strong. And they think doing this is arm wrestling. You tell them to do something different, they think you're telling them how to be weak, or like they're still seeing it in a competitor, like, who's stronger kind of
prideful way
perspective. And so when I have a day one, a lot of times when I'm trying to explain safety to them, I make sure and let them know, look, this isn't, I'm not trying to like baby you right now. This actually translates to strength. When you're trying to like pull me like this out here, I'm just going to pin you every time, dude. It's, and you're probably going to get hurt. But if you can learn to be connected, being here to, to your large muscle groups, you can add in that bicep and the lat and everything like that. And when they start to like actually give that a try, and you tell them, dude, you're 30% stronger right now, this is harder for me to pull you, that they seem to be a little bit more receptive to it. But, yeah, go ahead.
What I say to that, when people actually, and I've been around quite a bit of people like that as well, that just want to pull when I'm holding them back. Go break your arm somewhere else. Not on my watch. Can happen. Cannot happen.
And most of the time it's people like that just get like overly upset when you pin them to the pad, and then it just makes an unenjoyable experience because they're not willing to learn. They just want to win. And
or you can actually know how to pull someone like that in a way that you're going to take their ego away, but not put them in a bad position. They're actually pressing like that. There is a way to arm wrestle with somebody. So instead of going back and sideways, completely going back, and as backwards, they press, you're going in the position in which they are, but you're literally just taking everything they have until they give up. Until they give up. Because they're not going to continue on if you have their whole on arm.
They can't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you can do it, but ultimately, when you get those ego pullers like that, you don't want that on your fucking conscience, dude. How did Larry feel after he broke that dude's arm?
Oh, he felt terrible.
Yeah. Terrible.
Absolutely.
Fucking devastated. And people were like, "Why is he laughing?" I was like, "He ain't laughing."
No, he wasn't laughing.
No, he's just shocked. He's in shock.
He was pretty shocked. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was shocked, like really shocked afterwards. Yeah,
because he's sitting there like he's like, what the
he couldn't
heck is
believe it.
going on?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's incomprehensible.
yeah.
So I've never broken an arm, but I've dislocated a wrist. Right,
I
I've
hate that when
dislocated
that happens, yeah.
wrist, and in no way, shape, or form do I ever want to go through that again. You know, same as boxing. Like I knock somebody out, I don't want to knock somebody out anymore. And I know it's the game, but I'm a protector. You know, I'm a caregiver. I love people. I love seeing people grow. I don't want to hurt people, right? Unless you're an animal and you don't give a shit, then by all means.
So that's why you let me win the last arm wrestling match we had. That was why you just wanted to protect me.
Until the next time, Adam. You never know.
Well,
Dude, you kind of scare me from time to time as well.
Do I really?
Yes, you do.
In what way?
In what way? You're,
Just
you're
because of how
not.
strong you are, Adam, you know?
You're strong, and your form can use some work.
Okay, I can accept that because
If I
I'd
went
like to work.
with you and I broke your arm, I would never forgive myself.
Oh, you're a
You
sweet
honestly think you beat me?
guy.
If I thought I beat better than that. Oh my! No, you are very strong though.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy.
But you need to focus more on your form.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I love watching Adam arm wrestle. It's
I sort of want to bust your bubble, man.
Yo,
No, but
Tony,
it's true. It's true.
Johnny Dang says, I'd whoop Tony if he gave me 15%.
I think you would too. I think you would too.
Yeah.
I think I have to give Johnny about 35%.
Oh shit.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a big statement.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, Don Mormon says, have all new guys watch a bunch of arm break videos before they even start.
Just completely scare them.
That's how a lot of people do start, like how they even see that arm wrestling is out there. Those videos are definitely more popular. So yeah, in terms the general consensus, what to pull safe is back, right? Hand inside the shoulder. Is that the best advice that could be given?
Hook, back. I mean, it doesn't matter what position or what style that you have. You can be a hooker, you can be a top roller, a high hooker. You're always pulling. You're never pushing. The only time you push is when you're in a press. And if you're in a press, you better have your fucking shoulder behind it. Bottom line, you don't have your hand outside your shoulder. Right. There are a lot of pullers that do press with their hand outside their shoulder, and they're very fucking lucky. They're just lucky. It's a matter of time. And if they like, if they let's say Todd Hutchins, Hutchison, right?
Yeah.
Todd
Hutchins.
He's a freak of nature. He's been doing all that side pressure for so many years. He is in a total arm break position, which is not good for the sport. Like when people see him pull, they're like, "Oh, that's okay."
Right? Yeah.
Shoot, Jerry Cataret as well.
He is the poster boy
working on their side pressure. Yeah.
Poster boy of an arm break position. This is what you don't do. But if you're gonna train it for 30 years and you're gonna pull in that position for 30 years, Benjimac.
Benji.
And of course, your tendons are going to be so strong that you're not going to break your arm.
Yeah.
It's a very slight chance, but for 99% of people that pull like Todd Hutchins, you're going to break your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, bone density and individual, structures has such a huge part to play in this. But I think we're learning to pull safe and back and everything like that. If you do it long enough, a couple years, like even when you're if you're starting out like top rolling and coming back all the time, you're still getting a little bit on your joints. You're still getting a little bit on your inner elbow, just more in a safe way. You're still getting some on that brachialis and a little torque on the humerus, because you're not going to pin somebody here. It's still gonna be back here somewhere. And yeah, that's why I know Derek likes to start people in a hook so that they can condition their elbows, their joints a lot quicker, kind of get that out of the way.
That was the case. He was a 100% top roller before. He
Right,
literally
right.
came into play with that. So his mind changed, and it's not a bad deal, but it's ultimately, it's a risky move until it's not.
Right. Yeah, I actually, in retrospect, because top roll was more of a dominant thing for me, especially like in amateurs. That was, I wish I listened to Derek more in the beginning. It took me a little longer before I learned that I need to start working in the hook and my elbow in practice. But yeah, it was just such a slower process. It still did condition things, but then there's just people's backgrounds too. It does seem to be, this is, I'm sure it's specific to different people, but it does seem oftentimes that it's these strong like bodybuilders and stuff like that have very specific background in like isolated gym training, oftentimes maybe cosmetic or something like that, but don't have like much of an athletic or tradesman laboring or anything like that, where the bones and joints have been used to a lot of torque and stuff like that. And when you add a bunch of strength onto an unconditioned structure, even, not very conditioned tendons and stuff like that, I think that's a pretty bad recipe. But yeah, the initial phase of learning arm wrestling, I feel like is that you're conditioning your bones and your joints, your tendons, all that stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Connective tissues and everything that goes in between.
Right. Yeah, I
And
was actually a lot more built like muscularly. I was a lot lighter, but built muscularly before I started. And then after like my first year of arm wrestling, like I had lost a lot of like muscle tone and stuff and gained weight. But the gain weight came in like, I think like, I don't know, maybe bone density, tendon, building the tendons and stuff like that, and just eating too much to recover those things. But yeah, it's different because it's that foundation that's the important part. A lot of people, it's the same. They'll lose their muscle definition or whatever their first couple years, but then once that is conditioned, what they can stack on top of it is a lot.
I want to hear what Adam, what his mindset is now compared to before the video. What could possibly, what do you think could be a difference now compared to before?
That's hard to say. I would say that definitely need better supervision. So since there was no referee, no extra set of eyes, and I was standing next to the guy trying to show him how to go backwards, it probably would have been good to have somebody that was actually standing at the table watching both of them together.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of learning from this, and
yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I wasn't mad at you guys. I was just like, I was infuriated at the fact that it ever happened in the first place, especially being that could have been prevented. But when you're saying that, this guy wasn't brand new, that he knew what he was doing, I mean, hey, if he knew what he was doing, he got on the table and he wanted to pull in the way that he was doing, that's his fault 100%.
Yeah.
We got Derek Smith in the house, says that he'd like to add on his team, he has never had an arm break in 10 years through specifically telling everyone to start in a hook.
That's great.
Yeah. And there's a lot more to it than that too. They Derek and all the vet coaches, they are teaching back, in that hook,
always backwards. Yeah.
Inside the shoulder. So
Derek started the hook starts like within the last 3 to 4 years. Can he not get on and explain?
I don't know. Yeah. What's so Derek, Tony's saying that was more of a recent thing.
It seems like more recent. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Invite him on.
Yeah, we need to interrogate him now. Get him on so we can interrogate that shit.
Exactly.
He might be working
That's what we did
also.
to you, Adam.
You're right. No, it's all good. Yeah.
I respect Derek and his training methods because he is really
So do
good
I.
at really good at training people and knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Derek.
I'm very lucky to have been taught and trained by Derek, and everybody that he's trained that have become the veteran coaches, guys like Ricky Ramos, Lorenzo Munoz, just great dudes. So if okay, yeah, Derek says send the link. I just sent it to him. But yeah, I mean, I definitely felt very, very fortunate. It's different, I will attest that coming in my day one, all those things I was saying about other day ones, what I think about them, it was the same for me, like I came to see like if I was stronger than people in arm wrestling, because all I had done was, barroom and lunch table arm wrestling my whole life, and had more of that perspective of this is a way to find out who's stronger at something. I didn't really see it as a sport or something where veterans can teach you and that you need to be safe and all that stuff. So that I remember that day one was freaking weird. To have all these people caring for you and saying, stop pulling this way, pull back, and I'm like, why?
There's definitely a beautiful complexity when it comes to the sport of arm wrestling. And I think it's very untapped in the general community because like you said earlier, all they think about is just go sideways. But there's so much more that goes into it, whether it be technique wise or just conditioning in general. Like
Right.
I'm very fortunate to have started this sport here in California because there's just so much wisdom around here that has helped me progress to where I'm at right now because I've had so much wisdom from Derek Smith, Tony Thomlison, you, Kane, Ricky, even Adams, taught me a few things, it's like, it's crazy how much, you can learn from fresh start up until, wherever your experience goes.
Absolutely. Isn't that kind of weird to think like now in retrospect though, like why anyone would want to arm wrestle like this? But we all think that that's like how you do it. Like what muscle is that you're using? Like one muscle in here, maybe a little bit,
maybe your shoulder,
maybe I don't know. And it's not a natural muscle that you're using or a movement at all. Doing this, when do we do this in life? Other than
I don't know.
spotting a little fly or something. I want to be really strong like this. All right, we got Derek popping in here.
It's not letting me start my video. I can't put the camera on.
Let me see.
Hello, Derek.
Oh, there you are.
There we go.
What's up, Derek?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
big
sounding
cheese.
good, looking good.
What's up?
What's up?
So we cracked a big can of worms, Derek.
A big can of worms?
It's this, yeah, a big can of worms.
I just hopped in the last like 6
break.
minutes.
Yeah.
6-7 minutes. So I was just at the end of it. I caught the tail end of it.
Okay.
What's going on? What Tony said he wanted to interrogate me about what?
Well, yeah. What was your specific question, Tony?
It was the hook, using the hook for beginners.
We started. Okay, let's see. I started embracing telling people starting to hook about 2 or 3 years into the team. We started doing that. The mindset was basically we had some trial runs with some of our older guys, our beginner guys, and like Lorenzo, Leo, guys like that. We messed up. And we still talk about it all the time. We still laugh about it, how we started them incorrectly. We feel like we started them incorrectly. What it does, I feel like there's a few reasons we start people on a hook. One is that in a hook, generally it's bigger muscle groups being used. It's your chest, it's your shoulder, it's your bicep. It's when you lose in a hook, it's more of a strength-based movement. meaning big muscle. So when you lose in a hook, you feel like you're too weak. And I feel like leaving practice or an event feeling like you're too weak is a fantastic way to approach arm wrestling. To have that want and that urge to go train and get stronger will take you way further in arm wrestling than thinking, wow, I should have moved my thumb, I should have moved my finger, I should have regripped only here. Like, those are valid points, but in terms of the long run and reaching some high level, if you have a background and just I need to get stronger, it'll take you so much further, right? You know, maybe if Tony was hooking all the time, he'd actually be lifting weights all the time instead of trying to take people's hands. So that's the one of the biggest things that reason we started people on a hook. Second is it's kind of like a Band-Aid in terms of getting through this pain. Either way, the pain's always going to be there, but it becomes tolerable. And so you can top roll and evade the pain, and it'll be minimal, but you're still going to have to go through that motion. I feel like top rolling, that the inner elbow pain and things like that will, when you do have it, will be severe for longer. Maybe it takes 2 years to kind of get over that pain where it's not so bad, compared to if we go directly at it, we can get it done. And depending on your age, diet, lifestyle, recovery process, all those things, we can get it done in maybe a year, 8 months, 6 months, depending on, you know, if you're 18 years old, right? It can be done quick. Your body can adjust quick. So we're more at going at the pressures and things like that. Now, safely going at the pressures with a full explanation of, when I give the first speech to people, it's how an arm break happens. Like, let's talk about what's happening internally. I don't just say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. I say, this is what's creating an arm break. It's twisting your humerus bone by engaging your shoulder too much or getting the bottom part of your arm over rotated backwards, which makes the twisting happen right here in the humerus bone. So you can have your shoulder in an okay position, but if this gets twisted enough, that's still twisting the bone, right? So it can be in a winning position out here, but if this thing is getting twisted the other way, you're still doing somewhat commitment to the shoulder, but the main pressure is down here. But the most common one is when you see people over twisting with their shoulder, over rotating their shoulder, and that's what applies the pressure. But it can go both ways. It really can. So sometimes it can look like a freak accident depending on the station, but it's still the same thing happening. It's still top part twisting this way, bottom part twisting this way, right? And right there in the humerus bone, it's there. So it's just, in general, we tell people, you know, 3 rules: keep your elbow in front of your belly button or as close as you can. Keep your face connected to your hand. People in the United States love to say, look at your hand. I don't like that because I can look at my hand all the way over here. I can see it. So I like connected. And that's smarter, and it's tighter because tight is strong, open is weak. So keep it connected to it. Win with it, lose with it. Keep it right there. And then generally, every arm wrestling motion has a backwards component to it. Even pressing, you should be pulling it back in. Top rolling, hooking, everything should have a pulling motion to it. As time goes on, you get a little more wild with the side pressure, but that should be minimal. I mean, if you've done everything else correctly, they should be opened up, and the side pressure should be a tiny bit, a little sugar on top just to finish it, right? It really shouldn't be the main component, especially as a newer arm wrestler. So that's the same speech I've given everybody forever, from 10 years. And so, and like I said, luckily, we've never had no one wearing an Alpha Empire shirt has ever broken the arm. So we had one guy come to my practice once, but it was a major practice, like Tim Breslin, everybody came to town. So all the teams in Southern California came out to my practice, and 2 guys I've never met got on the table in a corner on their table, and a guy broke his arm, but it was like 70 people that practice. I didn't even know who they were. There's 2 random guys got on the table and one broke his arm. So I don't count that because I don't even know those guys. They were never on my team. They were visitors, kind of. But so I didn't give them the speech. I didn't get a chance to talk to them. But yeah, so I mean, I think our track record works well. A lot of people, most teams start people top rolling because it's safer. There's less pressure on the humerus and things like that. I just don't think it's the best way to set up an arm wrestler for the future to build a foundation. I think that it's better to embrace a strong style of arm wrestling to encourage them to get stronger. Personally, this worked out so far. It's just a lot of people do what Kane did. They go, okay, and then 2 weeks later they're top rolling. And I go, all right. I mean, I told you, whatever. Do what you're going to do. So I told you run your own race. I'm going to give you my spiel, take it for what it is. You know?
It's just how you said stay connected to your hand instead of look at your hand. That's exactly what Scott's older brother Jack told me before he passed. He said, act like you have a string attached to your nose to your fist, and don't let the string break.
Yep. I mean, it means a world of difference. I hate hearing people say, look at your hand, look at your hand. I mean, I can look at it while it's over here, man. I can watch it break. It's okay. I can still see it. Right. But staying connected to, I think, is priority number 1.
What kind of shit you talking, Derek?
I said, maybe if you weren't such a hand-dominant person, you started hooking, you'd be in the gym pumping iron all the time. Instead of pumping sandwiches like you're doing right now.
Dude, this is the most I've eaten in a week. And the most I've been in a week, and I made some bomb ass burgers. I was hoping you were gonna show up today, Derek. I was thinking that you may. It's okay that you didn't. But I made some of the best burgers I've ever had in my life today.
Good.
Most I've had. So I'll probably be at 3:32 tomorrow.
Hey.
Yeah, because of my burgers I made tonight. Trust me when I say that where I'm going, which is Missouri, there is not a whole lot to do in the town I'm going to. I'm going to build a structure of arm wrestlers there, and I'm going to be working out like a crazy man because I have nothing else better to do. And the next time that I get on the table with you, Derek, you're gonna feel something different. It'll be just like the first time we met. Remember that shit?
I blocked it out. I blocked it out. I don't remember anything.
I think that's the only reason. That's the only reason why Derek Smith.
Tony, you really had to go back that far?
Tony had hair back then. I remember he had a full head of hair, like afro.
Outside your mind.
Since I was 18. Yeah. Tony's making me hungry and I haven't had dinner yet. So we still have one other topic, and now that we got Derek in here, I'd like to just touch on it real quick and see what you guys think. So the other topic was tips to being competitive in the open class. So some people call it the pro class, most of us call it the open class, but the heavy hitters are in that class. Does anybody in here have any tips on how, steps one can take, any kind of tips for what would be the best path to at least being competitive? Say you're a 220 person, and you want to get up there in the 5th, 4th place range, at least in a 15-man bracket. What do you guys think? Is there anything that one can do?
Be competitive. Be motivated. Don't act like you're better than you are. Win. Try to win. Like, ultimately, we're all in it to win, but like literally, you just got to get in there and do it. You got to get in there and do it and work your ass up. Like Derek works his ass.
What does that look like, though?
Take a little time out of your day. I mean, ask Derek. Derek is the workhorse right now. He's working his ass off to be top 10, top 5 in the world. I respect this motherfucker right here because he got motivated at one point. I don't exactly remember when it was. I think it might have been 3 years ago, where Derek just was like, I'm tired of being just kind of good. Like he was on my level. He's just tired of being kind of good in the state. He wants to be world renowned. And he's shown some work. He's put in the work. You got to put in the work. And we are beasts. We're naturally big athletes, right. And even on a normal basis, we're still better than most. But even on a normal on a subpar basis, you can still be really good if you really put in that work.
Absolutely. Yeah, both of you guys in terms of competitors, you're not normal. I'm sorry to say. But before we jump over to Derek's opinion also as a coach, Evan, I think your perspective on this would be very interesting, because you did great in amateurs and you decided to make that big step to the open class, and you did really well. You placed 3rd in a decent class. I mean, there was a decent amount of entries for that 185, and there were some pretty tough guys in that class. What has your path looked like? Is there anything that stands out to you that you feel like attributed for the growth that you've had that has led to this last tournament where you did well in the open class?
Yes. And what I think contributed to that the most is going to these big events like the Bruheims. They help a lot. And I feel like personally for me,
I'm best.
So the more hands that you feel and the more people that you pull, and even going to these big events too, like all of you in this call, I take extreme advice from, and I am like an extremely absorbent sponge when it comes to me being at these events. And every single time I get to pull with one of you, it's the most important thing to me that I need to be entirely focused on, because that is what's going to propel me to be projected even higher than what I want to be currently, is retaining the wisdom and applying it accordingly. Because whenever I do and learn all these stuff, different stuff, I've even came to one alpha practice. I've been to an Orange County practice. I haven't been to a compound practice, but I'd love to go to a compound practice. Just going to all these different teams and being absorbent. And that's what's helped me the most, because the more hands you feel, the more people you pull, you're going to get stronger, because you're not going to pull those people all the time. So the harder that you go, and I will say this too, the gym attributes to it as well. But the harder you go on the table, and if you leave your soul and body out on that table by the end of the practice or even the end of the tournament, you're going to grow.
Right.
So.
Yeah, very, very cool insight. And yeah, I could see what Adam and Larry getting a lot of those benefits as well, getting to grip up with so many people all around the world. That's got to be so cool. Adam, have you noticed like a lot of differentiations, between styles of communities and stuff, whether you're pulling in Southern California, Dubai, the Northeast, what?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're in Dubai. Well, it wasn't that we were in Dubai, but Larry was bringing all of these great people from different countries, whether it was, Lebanon, and Devin, of course, from Canada. We got to see all different styles of training. So how do the Bulgarians train? How do the Georgians train? How do the Americans train? And it's so cool that it's quite different, actually. Some things are the same, but there's a lot of differences too. Yeah. And that's what's interesting is that so Larry and I, before we left Dubai, had a coach for probably about 6 months, Max Polacek, who's he's a European junior champion, but he studied. He was under Andrei Pushkar up until his death. And so he's just a wealth of knowledge, really, really good at teaching. And we definitely learned a lot, different styles from him. So it's cool. Yeah.
Right on. Anything stand out the most? Like, let's just generalize between the Europeans and Americans.
There's many different things, especially the training in the gym. That's different, but also things like just so back in the 90s when I was actually, pretty strong, I would do a hook and I would always shoot in to the front like that. And it seemed like that was a commonly American style of pulling hook. Whereas in Europe and other places, they don't do that. They don't jump in, they don't push forward at all. And, so I've been messing around with that, learning that style. So yeah, so many different ways they pull. Absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that about the Europeans, that they don't actually shoot forward. It seems like they, they're coming in. They're just not really coming forward.
Yes, they're not coming forward though. That's the thing. So, like if you go over to, for instance, Mendy's gym, they have the Armenians there. They'll train a lot like those guys out in out in Europe. So
gotcha. All right, Derek, what are your thoughts on
was waiting patiently for me to be called on. I'm not going to interject myself. So you're still talking about the differences between a pro puller and someone placing well in pros?
I think you'll be a really good perspective on that, but I also would love to hear your insight, just in terms of any tips that you think, one that's aspiring for the open class and being competitive in that class, steps that they can take, things.
I like that Evan talked, and he touched on a few things. Like one kind of goes back to what I was just talking about having a strength-based mindset. So he even caught himself. He goes, well, and the gym. So Evan, you're lifting, right? Throughout
yes,
the week?
I am. Yes.
Okay. There is no competitive or top level guy who is not putting in extra work in the gym throughout the week, period. It does not exist. It is a falsehood for anybody to think they can just practice, pull a rubber band every once in a while and make it awesome in the sport. It's just not going to happen. So that needs to be something that's realized early on. And I hate saying that. And this is one of the biggest differences I find in American arm wrestling and American arm wrestling around the world is that it's hard to tell if we were trying to train like Russians. And I'm trying to tell these guys, I said, all right, you're going to come to practice, right? You're going to pull at 10%. We're going to walk over motions and then you're going to go to the gym. And every day we're going to on the table go 10%. You're never actually going to arm wrestle. Maybe about once a month, once every month and a half, you're actually going to get to go at it. Other than that, we're going to go over some moves and you're back to the gym because we don't want to tear anything down because we want you to be healthy for the gym, right? That's a very European approach to arm wrestling. It won't work in North America because it's viewed as a hobby. Guys want to have some beers, kick it with the boys, go arm wrestle for 4 hours of practice on Sundays, and then head home, right? If I told an American guy, hey, you're not actually going to be arm wrestling for about a month, they're gonna be like, what? Like, that's lame. I came here because I want to go for it, right? So that approach doesn't work here because the sport is not viewed the same here, right? So we have to that's why in America, in North America, we pretty much say, start getting on the table, get a ton of table time as much as you can handle, grow, and then we want to work our way into the gym because it's just more of a realistic approach with the way we view arm wrestling, right? So, but the cream will rise to the top. So if I had some, have someone like Evan, right, and he's like dead set on moving forward, then he might do that 10% at practice and go straight to the gym and listen to that. But most guys won't, right? So I've learned over the years of running the practice is that the cream will rise to the top. The people that want to make it will make it. All the top guys are pushing the top guys, all have gym backgrounds and are steady putting in work. And that's a huge deal. It's a massive deal. Now, so number one, put in extra work, trying to be a competitive pro. You have to be putting in the extra work, the homework, the outside of practice work. It's a must. Two, I think that pro or open bracket pullers are way more complete. They're going to have way less gaps and flaws and holes in their game. You're not going to be able to do some simple move that could carry you through amateurs and then smoke a pro. It's just not going to happen. A flop press works fantastic in amateurs. It's a very powerful, fast move, and people don't really know how to react to it. When you're on the pro bracket, then the odds of a guy knowing how to connect his wrist and how to keep you outside your shoulder are very high. And then you've spent 6 years trying to flop press, and now you're like, oh my God, I haven't built anything that's well-rounded or transfers into anything now because I've just been flop pressing the whole time. Or these moves that don't lead to anything. So it's super important to try to become well-rounded so that way when you decide to branch out and go from a top roller to a hook puller that you have the ability to do so because you're still worried about the things that are important, the important fundamentals of arm wrestling, right? So pro pullers have the bases checked off. They're more solid wrists, more answers to problems. And that goes another thing back to what Evan said. If you, as you're coming up in the sport, everything is based towards being a sponge, everything is based towards towards growing, everything, right? I knew when I got into the sport, I've played college basketball, I was a professional video game player. I knew what it's like to get good at something and how hard it is and how long it takes. So I knew I was going to fail a million times. Okay, I'm going to fail a million times. Let's start getting these failures out of the way. Let's start getting this ass whooped all the time. So I want to go to every practice. I want to enter every single bracket I can enter at a tournament. Yeah, I'm a super heavyweight. So every event, I think I did 2 or 3 events purely amateur. Then after that, it was all pro and amateur every event. And then eventually, after I started winning the amateurs, I retired the amateur arms and just did pro. But if there was a pro, my weight class and classes above it, you would see me enter every single tournament, all the weight classes and arms I can possibly afford. Because I know that I don't care about this amateur win. I don't care about these low-level pro wins. Really, these are just steps to me getting to where I want to get, right? And so everything should be viewed as such. Every time I remember, I would do this all the time. I'd get off a match from a pro bracket, and you could still see the guy's finger imprints on my hand. And I would always, people would try and talk to me, I would ignore everybody. I'd walk on the stage staring at where their fingerprints are on my hand and thinking what pressure they just applied and what I should have done differently while it's still fresh, while it's still right there. I remember exactly the pressure they put in my hand. And so that way I'd want to grow and learn because the pros would beat my ass. Maybe I get 1 win, but I would learn a ton of tricks. Oh man, I remember my first pro match ever, Tom Nelson. First time I ever went in pro bracket was Tom Nelson. And he destroyed me, but it was a huge learning experience, right? And so, I mean, that's all that matters. Who cares about that amateur medal? Who cares about, you're going to forget all about it. It's just a step to getting to this level you want to get at in my eyes. And not everybody has that dream, but if you do have that dream to get to super high level, then that's what you kind of have to do. Go get that ass whooping. Go get it and get them all over with, get them out of the way. That way we can start moving forward. So I think having that mindset of viewing everything as growth and putting in the extra work, I think those are the 2 most important things to become a good level pro and a high level pro. But yeah, in terms of the European stuff, yeah, they train wildly different, but it's viewed more as a profession out there. It's taken serious. Not that you're going to be a rich arm wrestler, but it's something that's respected. It's something that you can get interviewed and do autographs and things like that. And the strength sports out there and generally masculine things are just more applauded out in Europe and stuff than they are over here in the West. Strength sports, all of them, right? So I think it's just viewed different and approached differently. But I think North America is starting to come around. Obviously, at East vs. West, we're starting to do it. We're starting to get our wins. Our guys are starting to show up. And before, it's awesome to see that growth, because before we go to WAF, we just get destroyed all the time. All North Americans would just get wrecked at WAF, especially in the lighter weight categories. But I think we're starting to move forward. We're starting to understand how you have to be competitive in the sport. But yeah, so for your average guy to become pro, put in the homework, become a sponge, and become well-rounded. I would say those are the biggest things and well-rounded in terms of the priorities of arm wrestling. Hand control starts establishing your hand. Even if you want to hook, you have to have the hand to get the hook. You have to have the hand to get the top roll. It has to start in the hand, and being able to apply what you want to apply through the hand. That has to start there. So I think, that's it in a nutshell.
Holy shit, that was like 30 minutes.
And I was going fast.
No, man, I love it. Every single one of you guys had something to say that I thought was very interesting and applicable. And I'm definitely going to clip this and make its own video for this. I think that was really, really good insight. And I especially love that last part in terms of looking at everything as growth. You know, if you're just like, you know, training and competing to be the best amateur you can be, and get as many medals as you can, like what are you doing? You know?
Ego arm wrestlers.
Right. Yeah, I love that long game perspective. That's freaking awesome. We have Layla Bunnies in here, says Derek is a wizard.
Yep.
Yeah, we got
spent a long time thinking about this.
Yeah, we got another wizard in here. Scott Wynn is in the chat. What's up, Scott? Good to see you. We got Matt Silva in the chat. What's up? Matt says Derek is mansplaining. And don't tell me how to lose. I know how to lose, he says.
I need to learn how to compete. That's why I'll go to tournaments. He sits in practice all day. Matt, get
Let's
to
do
tournament.
this, Matt. Get out there. We got Dice TV in the house too. Well, guys, I'm definitely gonna clip that.
You guys gotta see what you missed out on. Look at this.
And yes, thanks
Beautiful.
to you, Tony. Now I'm going, since I don't have any burgers in my refrigerator, at 10 p.m. I'm gonna have to go to the store and buy burgers and make a burger because I have to now.
I didn't mean to make y'all hungry, but you know,
You know you did. You know you meant to make us hungry.
Y'all didn't show up over here, so whatever. You lose. We could have done a podcast in my living room.
Dude.
And Matt Silva says you're not ready. All right, let's do this, Matt.
As you guys notice, I don't know. I mean, I know what I know. I know what I feel is logical and everything else, right? But am I a journeyman in arm wrestling? No. I just know how to keep people safe and all that kind of stuff. Do I know all the moves and everything like Derek? No. But that's why I asked Derek to come on, because he knows and he needs to spread the word on every channel he could possibly give, because I love his insight. I love his explanations on everything, right? I wanted Adam to come on here so that way we can get some clarification on what happened, like why.
Yep.
You know, now we got the clarification. Now we can let it go.
Mhm.
You know, so this is what this is about. I love it.
Absolutely. Yes. And yeah, it's such a strange thing to be as big as you guys and actually know a lot about arm wrestling. That's
Well, I should be stupid because I'm big, Kane. Is that what you're saying? You
No,
said
that's
big guys
what-
are stupid. Is
what
what you
I'm
just
saying,
said?
Kane.
Dumb.
It's 100%
Wow.
dumb.
Kane. Wow,
Trying to
big
bury
and dumb.
yourself right
Do
now. or what?
I need to spell it out?
You got the two King of Cali's on here right now, which is a rarity.
No,
And
you're
you're-
supposed to be able to
talking-
beat people with your pointer finger, and that's all you do.
But
You don't know that
goes-
there's something
that goes-
beyond here.
The curse of strength. Arm wrestling has the curse of strength. To be strong in arm wrestling when you first get into the sport is the worst thing there is. I think that not having to challenge yourself, not being the weaker guy on the table, or rarely being the weaker guy on the table is horrible. I'm so thankful I got my ass kicked so many times. I had to learn how to be strong in a situation, and then you become the strong guy and you're good to go. That's Travis Page's whole thing. He started arm wrestling as a child in a bar against grown men. Right, that's it. He went to his dad's bar and arm wrestled against grown men. So he learned how to be the small guy, how to use speed and timing and all the cheats in the world. And then he became the strong guy and was arm wrestling like the weak guy against top guys in the world. Right. So John Brzezinski and them, they came up in a more controlled environment. A brother the same age, dad who's a professional arm wrestler, like challenging himself and things like that, but more controlled. Travis Major has always been the weaker guy. So his whole approach is how to be better as the weaker guy. Right. And so I think that's invaluable. I feel bad for guys that start in strong. I feel bad for Megan Mike. I feel bad for Tony. Guys that walk into the sport that are just strong as hell. Like,
feel bad for me, man. Don't patronize me.
No, I'm saying that you're rarely in a situation where you have to adjust because you're always so strong. You know what I mean? 100%. And so it kind of puts you at a disadvantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm happy I was the weak guy. Thank God. Thank God. So.
I would like to think that that I lit a fire under Derek when I first moved here. Please tell me that I did, Derek.
You definitely added to it. You definitely added to it. More threats. Local threats are always scary. I think the time I started taking it real serious is when I locked in the match with Thomlison after 10 years of him talking crap and saying Southern California sucks. Yeah. Don't ever touch me, this and that. I finally get the match against the number one guy in California. That was when it was like, okay, it's time. And a lot of things switched at the same time for me in my life. But yeah, that was the one that got me real started.
That's awesome. I have yet to beat Tom Nelson, right?
Old Tom Nelson. Apparently he's training. He's looking strong. So,
ooh,
nice, classic.
Yeah.
I think if I could stop being retarded right-handed, I can basically be number 2 in California.
Well, you're leaving now. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying right now. If I wasn't retarded right-handed, I would be number 2.
That would make you number 2 on both hands. That'd be pretty good.
Because everybody says their party arm is left. Well, my party arm is right. So what the fuck?
Right.
We're all just biding our time till Larry takes over California. Right. It's all just a matter of time.
Yeah.
But now he's doing this bodybuilding thing. That's
What do you don't like that he's doing it?
I do, but I thought the timing for this particular one was just horrible. But I understand
the Leonidas match and all that.
Yeah, because of the Leonidas match, and it's just like, unfortunately, the only competition that you could become a pro bodybuilder, go right from amateur to pro, is the Amateur Olympia, and just the timing, it was terrible, and because of the amount of weight that Larry had to lose. So he had to lose 40 pounds. He has to lose 40 pounds by the time he's competing. And the first couple weeks, he lost almost 20 pounds.
He's 232 right now, right? Something like that.
He's 239 right now. So he's going to hold there until he drops the water, and then he should fall about 232.
And he didn't have 40 pounds of fat. He didn't have 40 pounds of fat to lose.
No, and then, as a matter of fact, he just did the underwater weighing test. That video went up today, and he came out at 4.0% body fat.
Holy
that's stage ready, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's stage ready right now.
Dude, that's I can gain that much fat in a day.
And if you look at the video that we put up before that, you can see how shredded he is now. It's really insane. So. Yeah,
I think he's gonna do well. I hope he does well. Gets back.
So do I. He makes it
arm wrestling training kind of like always in the background, right? He's always doing like hand and
wrist.
It
is. Yeah. So he's not like letting that go. And as soon as this cycle is done with bodybuilding, then he's going back to arm wrestling right away. So he's going to start training arm wrestling beginning of November, right after competition.
If you had to divide Larry's like attention or priorities, where would you put arm wrestling on the list in terms of like the future?
It's pretty high. So it's his 2 main things for moving forward for the time being is going to be arm wrestling and bodybuilding. Now, he still has a 1,000-pound deadlift that he wants to do, and he said maybe he'll do that in a couple of years. So he's not planning on doing that anytime soon. So arm wrestling and bodybuilding are the 2 that he's going to do.
So I'm assuming he wants to get his pro card in bodybuilding first before he attempts that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's hoping to get it in a week and a half.
Yeah,
at the Olympia.
With the striations and all the stuff that I've been seeing, like he's absolutely in amazing condition.
It's insane. I've never seen it. I've been working with Larry for 8.5 years, So
Because in his
It's,
recent post, I
crazy.
saw when he was doing the leg extensions, like the striations in his legs are crazy.
oh, it's insane right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna do a show in a couple months still. Just thinking about it, just leaning out.
Yeah, man.
Ah,
Yeah.
the
Hold
pie
on,
eating
Derek.
competition.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't saying anything.
It was a secret, Adam. I told you not to tell anybody.
No, I really loved that that last run of tournaments that Larry was getting out at for arm wrestling, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I don't know, it's just he was killing it, and
It was, right?
yeah, and that's what you want to see, is you want to see him test himself out there and just open tournaments with all the heavy hitters out there, and he did really good in that
He
format.
did. Yeah,
I
he'll be
swear,
back at it.
I swear, if you ran the Leonidas match back in 1 month here in California, Larry would destroy Lena. I will bet money on it. Won't happen, but I would bet money on. I am so convinced that Larry is so much stronger than Leonidas. I am so convinced of it that it's just like boggles my mind of what happened. And I boiled it down. It was one of two things, Adam. Either Leonidas, when I pulled him, did a workout that day and was weaker than I thought, or something in the travel took something out of Larry, because I felt Larry and I felt Leonidas within 2 weeks of each other, and it wasn't close. It was not. They were different human beings. So either Leonidas was weak when I pulled him, or something in the travel or whatever happened with Larry that took it out of him that day. But it's the most aggravating thing in the world for me. I swear, I'm more affected by that loss than Larry. I think. I swear to God, I am.
In the strap, I thought they were almost equally as strong. I think Larry is a little bit stronger. But yeah, I think Larry. Actually, I think Leonidas had something on Larry mentally, though. I think
He may have had that too. I agree with you, because Larry had 3 losses in super matches.
Yeah,
and he took those pretty hard. The other thing is that in terms of the whole strength thing, in the gym he was a lot weaker the week before going out to compete. You know, like he can normally incline bench press 405 for like 13 reps or so, and the week before he was only doing 315. Now he was going slow reps, more bodybuilding, but he didn't complete enough reps to. It was such a huge discrepancy. So, yeah.
Well, so I won't see you guys. I won't see Larry for a while, right? Like after the Olympia, it's probably a few weeks, month before I see him.
I would say after the Olympia, he'll see you pretty quickly within a couple weeks. So probably mid-November, maybe sooner than that. So I'll keep you updated.
Where do I see you? When do you come to practice?
So we have the competition this weekend, and then Sunday we off to the Olympia. So probably a couple weeks. Yeah.
All right.
Second weekend November.
Evan, come out to practice. Big practice.
All right, sounds good to me. Not
by
this
the way, Derek,
upcoming weekend, huh?
By the way, Derek, I'm no longer going to Colorado. That fell through.
Oh, yeah, you said Missouri.
I'm going about an hour east of Springfield, Missouri. So
get it. Just get it. Own that.
But
it's gonna be fun times.
I'll definitely come out to another alpha practice. I didn't catch it the last one I went to, so not this weekend, but the weekend after.
And hopefully some NorCal guys come down, because, you know, Josh, you know, apparently we always get bitched at for not going up to NorCal for practices, and they act like they're coming down to a million things for us.
Yeah,
we both don't travel a ton. Sorry that Bill hosts more tournaments down here than he does up there. Don't get mad at us for that.
That's Matatat Silva. Okay, that's Matt, man. I don't know what's wrong with that dude.
Matatat Silva.
Yeah, I love him, but geez, man. He even threw my name in the post the other day. He was like, "Josh is coming here or whatever," and you got. I was like, "Dude, don't do that." Like, I go down there and go to their practices. But is any of you guys going to Brandon's house next month for his big old huge practice he's supposed to be having?
Oh, that's right. That's like the 18th.
Yeah, he's gonna have Bridgettesexiness there and everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said Sarah will be there, Chance will be there, Brazink will be there.
I need to go pull Oleg.
This dude
Vegas.
has money to be pulling these
That
people in.
dude's that
And I'm
dude's
like,
a freak, bro.
Yeah, I need to go see how strong he is again. I need to go test that out.
So this is November 18th, you said?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, man.
you're talking about the Oleg that I just lost to over in Victorville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is pretty strong, but Derek is way stronger.
Mm.
Styles.
Derek, are you going to the
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to assume that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Derek? Are you going to the
I'm
East versus West
telling you.
qualifier?
It's not an IC. It will be.
I
You
don't
are
have
way
any plans,
stronger.
man. I don't have
You
any
will
plans.
you'll toy with him, but he is strong.
What was your
Anybody
question,
talk about
Evan?
how strong Adam Silver's getting? Have we talked about this?
What?
I was asking.
Uh-huh. You know what? I love that. You and Larry come together. Everybody's staring at Larry, and you're just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I love that. I love watching this stuff.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I'm watching.
I was just asking if Derek was going to the East versus West qualifier.
I have no set plans until I have a match in January and supposed to go to East versus West in April. That's the only things I know, and I can't say where the match is in January. That's the only things that are kind of set for me as of right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm
So
going
guys,
to the qualifier on November 4th in Virginia. I was just wondering.
What are the big things happening in January? We can figure it out what he's doing in January.
You probably already know.
I don't know. I swear. I don't know.
Well, then I'll see you at practice. We can talk about it.
Okay.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna resign my King of Cali to Larry Wheels only because he beat me in Mexicali. That was international, by the way. That's not King Cali shit. He had to have been beating me here to take the spot. So I'm gonna give it to Larry Wheels, and the only reason I'm gonna give it to Larry Wheels is because Derek wants it. He wants to be left and right. And he's gonna have to earn that shit by beating Larry Wheels.
I don't think being Larry.
King of Cali right-handed is Derek Smith. King of Cali left is Larry Wheels at the moment.
But really, King Cali left is fresh. If we can all just be serious with ourselves.
No, because we've never had a match like that. Just because the dude beats me in fucking overalls.
Everybody, he beats everybody. Everybody, not just you two. He beats everybody.
I'm saying if he wants King Cali, then he's got to beat somebody he's got a super match. Come on. Super match.
I don't want any of that dude. I don't want to touch Reg Latina. I don't even want to group up with this dude ever.
He's kind of crazy. Yeah, I know, but
it just looks horrible.
In January, dude, I almost had him twice. If I wouldn't have elbow fought, I had him, and then I got beat by him again at the Riverside thing, only because the fact that Dallas Langston, pulled his shenanigans on me, and I was pumped to beat him in his own game. No. January, I felt something. I felt something good, and I know that I can beat him. It's just a matter of getting him off my wrist. Getting him off my wrist.
You know who I'd like to see against Larry and Derek? I think you're super right about the dude, but Ilya, that guy Ilya, the dude from Russia.
Yeah.
Eli over up in NorCal?
Yeah, like how easily he beat Tom Nelson left-handed was sick.
And
right. And
he's young. He's young too. And he's big.
I don't think I know him.
Russian. Oh,
he is.
It's the worst.
He doesn't deserve it yet. So it's Larry.
Ilya Konstantinov.
Larry,
send me some videos.
Yeah, I don't think Eli's there right now, but I think in a year and a half, Eli's be knocking on some crazy doors. That dude is he's on his way.
And he's like the nicest dude too.
Yeah, super nice.
He's
Eli. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
he's
Eli.
like 6'4", big dude, probably 260 or so, 270.
Oh. No,
you guys remember that football movie with that big ass dude? And he was like a big ass nerd, took over the football team, and he was like the inspiration of everybody, and then he died.
What?
Oh, crazy! Do you mean the little guy?
No, he was huge.
Oh, huge!
But he was very like.
He was talking about Rudy.
That's who I thought he was talking about.
Another one. I think it was I don't remember but the dude reminds me of him. The guy is such a fucking angelic figure.
Yeah.
This guy is such a wholesome, like you don't want to beat the guy because he's so wholesome. But he's so strong.
I want to be
strong.
I want to beat him. He represents. He's trying to take my spot. He's trying to take my spot. Eli's on the war class right now.
He's a freak. Well, he's left-hand
those
dominant.
heels.
So
Oh yeah. So I don't care
I
about
love
that.
that guy. Eli is a really good dude, and he's going to be very dangerous. He's going to be top 3 in the state for a very long time. You know, but Derek is the number 1 guy right now. I think left and right, but
Whoa.
that's my opinion.
I don't think. I definitely can't beat Larry in any kind of slow pull left-handed. The only thing I could maybe is if we had a real match and like I got the refs to really screw him over. And I really got to use my experience against him. Then maybe something like that. But if we slow pull, Larry is too much hand for me. I can't do it. I'm just telling you, I can't do it. Not right now.
I'm talking in the tournament, not slow pulling. You don't slow pull in the tournament.
That's what I'm saying. But it would have to be something like that. I'd have to really use experience, ready goes, the refs, and then maybe I can make something happen. But man, not anywhere slow. That's for sure.
Stop playing.
I think
coy.
that's what Larry's cut out for is the
Stop
tournament.
playing
He's
coy.
sort of a
You know where you're at. You know what you can do. You're gonna do well. So I'm giving it to Larry for now. Derek is gonna take it. I'm about 80% sure of that. I'm not gonna be 100%, but I'm gonna be 80%. And then Larry, once he gets up to speed, will challenge Derek left and right.
We got to get. He has to cross that Mega Mike thing. Everybody wants to see that super match.
Yeah,
we got to see that. Oh,
it's gonna happen. But like
and Mike's top rolling right-handed. Do you see Mike top rolling in the tournament? He top rolled Jordan Silva.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
Ugliest top roll ever. And we worked on it for like a week, and he went and did it. It worked out. It was hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Top
So-
3. Derek,
What's
Mega
that?
Mike.
Yeah.
Top 3 is Derek, Mega Mike, and Larry Wright. Left-handed is Derek, Larry, and who's left third?
What about Reg?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, outside of Reg. So if Reg was a super heavyweight, he'd be in the talks. But overall,
Alan's pretty big.
then
Big
yeah,
Alan's pretty strong. I don't know where. Well, there's Eli, and then
he's very
there's
close. Yeah,
what's his name from NorCal too? Israel. Is Israel good lefty?
not left. Right-handed,
good
he's
lefty?
good, but not
Oh.
left.
Okay.
I'm talking left.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, is Eric Wolfell arm wrestle anymore? I know Tom's left is like hurt. I don't know if Eric Wolfell arm wrestles, but he's a lefty. He's always been a badass.
I think
so.
he's gonna get Eric Wolfell's gonna get embarrassed by the top 3 for sure. Right now,
What? Eric Wolfell get embarrassed? That's crazy.
he's gonna get embarrassed because number 1, he's old. Number 2, he hasn't done shit for so long.
Yeah, I think
The
he's been
last
out
time I
on
was on the
injury or
table-
something.
The last time I was on the table with him, I was probably 70% of what I am right now. I'm just talking shit. You know what I mean? But I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Good
Eric, I
old
love you if
Derek.
you're watching this. I would never say such disrespectful things about a
Yeah,
legend.
he was on the show with Nancy a few months back. Yeah, and I think he was saying he's working on an injury or something like that. But, yeah, that guy was top dude for a while, like, wasn't he? He was unstoppable on the left for a very long time.
You put me on the table with that guy right now, and I will handle him. Handle.
All right, Eric, is that enough reason to?
I'm
Come
going
on.
to Missouri, dude. I'm not saying I'm going to get on the table with him.
Yeah, that's also a convenient thing to say right before going to
You guys,
Missouri.
Right, yeah,
you guys know I'm fucking around. Eric is the shit, dude. Eric Wolfell is the master of his craft for sure. So it is what it is. But
And
Derek,
Big Leroy's coming too, lefty. Leroy's left is starting to get pretty legit.
he's coming up. He needs to get that hand. I think he has the hand. He just needs to learn how to use the hand and
he has
learn
a
how
match
to
with Casey. He has a big match coming with Big Casey, left-handed, in like a week or two.
Armfest. Armfest on the 5th. Yep.
So
Sad I'm not going to be here
Casey's
for
doing
that.
great,
But
man. Speaking of super heavyweights, I love Casey, man. I love that guy, and
Good dude.
he surprised me with Brandon Allen that first round. Surprised the hell I think out of everybody, and it didn't come through, but it was a match on short notice, and that's not really Casey's style, the way you have to do to beat Brandon. But I was really surprised with the surge that got Brandon that got him that pin, and the fact that Brandon had the Kings move. He had to go there for the first couple times, so Casey got tired. I mean, that means something. It definitely means
that
something.
was so impressive. That was so impressive to watch in person. You should have been there, Derek.
Oh.
I had to work.
Should have been there. That shit was awesome to see Casey beat Allen.
Yeah, for sure. Huge moment. And Ben wants to know, who all is going to the World Series of Arm Wrestling at Coronado Beach, November 4th? Anybody?
I was supposed to be there because I qualified number 1 in Riverside, but I'm no longer going to be able to do that.
All right, Josh, you coming out for that?
What?
You coming out for the World Series of Arm Wrestling in
Yes.
San Diego?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're going to be there as spectators, just to support, right?
Yeah. I'm there in Don Mormon's corner.
Right on. Yeah.
It sucks. I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so I like to stay there. I have to call off work, and I'm missing out on like $500 in cash just to go watch a tournament, which doesn't make sense. So I might be able to go for a little bit, and watch for a little while. But yeah, I mean, as long as I work until Larry launches his gym and hires me as a full-time arm wrestling coach to train everybody for arm wrestling in the gym. Once that happens, I can quit my job and just go train arm wrestlers. But
That's right.
Fortunately, I have to work.
Hey, we'll be talking.
Hey, I'm so down. I'm so down.
And Ben McCabe also posted the link for the match, Brandon Allen versus Casey Stevens. It was an amazing match. So anybody watching, go check that out. And one of my favorite comments here from the Schmo says, Kane needs to eat food. My man's blood sugar is dropping, but he's too polite to end this with all these.
Yeah, end this. I'm dying.
Lisa, jeez, Kane.
Not even supposed to be on here.
You're an arm wrestler now. You are an arm wrestler. You've been competing. You're the guy right now.
I'm the guy, please.
You're the guy.
Oh, please.
You guys are putting me on my first weight cut right now.
I get
Is this what this is like?
That was like, yeah. Talk to Larry about weight cuts.
Oh my God.
Hey,
I don't even know what that is.
I appreciate you guys' love and respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Anybody,
absolutely, buddy.
There's a serious lag going on.
Yeah, go show Tony some love. Somebody, it was Ben or Johnny, posted the link in the app for Tony's Facebook. Show him some love and support. Give him a nice soft landing in Missouri. And you guys, thank you so much for coming on. Evan, it was a pleasure having you on here. You're the man. I'm really proud of you and happy about your progression. You were definitely my personal enjoyment and standout performance of that last tournament. It was really good to see, bro. And
thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Tony Thomlison. As always, you're a beast, and I love what you add to this show. You're freaking amazing.
I appreciate you having me on. I will. I'll get on from time to time, but I appreciate you guys' love and respect here in California. You guys welcomed me with open arms, so I really appreciate it, and I will be back again at some point. So Derek, thanks for your hospitality as well, and your know-how throughout the years, and your competition, which made me better. I appreciate you.
You don't have to say that to friends, Tony. We're friends. You don't have to publicly say this. You call me, bud. It's all right. We're past this point.
Well, then fuck off.
Adam, thank you so much for taking the time to pop in here. And absolutely. Yeah, always a pleasure. Derek, Coach, thanks for coming in here, bro. Absolutely.
Might be anytime, Kane. If you want me to come on, just send me an invite and I'll hop in. I have nothing to do. I had some time to kill, man. I'm down to come in here whenever you want me.
All right, man. I appreciate that. All right.
Were we talking about needing a third person for the show every week?
What's this?
I said, weren't we saying we needed a third person for the show every week?
Hey, let's do this. Let's run
Lock it in.
What time does it start?
Thanks, Derek. Thank you, Derek.
We can talk. End the show. We can talk.
Peace out, guys.
I'll be seeing you Sunday.
Right. See you
Thank
later.
you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe. All right. Have a good night.
All right,
Later.
bye.